features that a lot of the transceivers don't have.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, depending on what bands you're on, I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that aren't ham bands that you can listen to.
Well, that used to be the big thing, was that you didn't have a full band receiver. You just had a ham band receiver. So you got one of these if you were a ham, so you could pick up the shortwave stuff and you could pick up the stuff between the ham bands.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's that looks 735-ish is what it looks like. It's got a direct entry keyboard up there. I don't remember seeing that in 735s, but oh no, that's not a keyboard. It's a keyboard. Okay, Mark Clayton showed up. Everybody quiet.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mark.
Mark, did you get that loop working?
I was having so much fun with my new radio and the loop that I almost forgot to come on here tonight.
What kind of loop did you put up?
Ken Special.
That could be anything. No one can.
Well, it's one of those big, huge round loops on a stand that he built.
Oh, magnetic loop. Oh.
Yeah, and believe it or not, it works really, really good indoors.
Ken is smoking.
Yeah, I'm about to start cussing too.
A little wisp of smoke coming up off Ken there.
No, I mean it's working really, really good. I received a signal from Venezuela, Mexico, the Azores.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
cool.
on digital, right?
Yeah, FTA.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico, Panama.
Yeah, who cares? I can hear Ken.
Yeah.
Who cares?
And it's cool. The fun part of that is the tuning capacitor is 2 pieces of tinfoil and a piece of parchment paper.
Yep.
And a piece of cardboard.
Yep.
Kind of on the idea of that one that we looked at the other night that had the 2 panels that folded together.
Oh, cool.
Increase the capacitance. At least just slide over each other and throw it on the table. Slide it till you get plenty of noise and put a book on it.
Yeah, it works.
I was rather surprised that my air mesh variable was a little weak on 20 meters with that particular coil, which is just some coax. I think it's 75 ohm coax, but it's just shorted out anyway, so to make the loop. But I didn't have the right capacitance in my other large variable capacitor to make 20 very excited. It would receive, but that little flat tinfoil one worked right that way. So
Will it transmit?
you probably could transmit. It does. The dielectric is literally just a piece of parchment paper. So I would probably want to upgrade the dielectric if you were going to put any power on it, but you probably put 1 or 2 watts on it. The worst thing it's going to do is set a fire on the desk, Mark.
Yeah. It's Mark's house. We don't care.
That's why they call it dielectric.
I think you should try it.
No, can't do that.
Yeah, he's got some paperwork to do.
Yeah.
When you coming, man? When you coming?
Next month.
Are you? Good for you.
Yep. Was studying today.
So did we make that loop for 20?
No.
40?
Well, it works on 20 and 40.
Yeah.
It's about a meter diameter, roughly. Something like that, in the neighborhood. And then that capacitor, I don't know what value it is. I realized later that I had one of these old Centec meters with a capacitance meter on it. I could have measured the darn thing. So I'll do that on the next one. But we know that on 20 meters, it brought the audio up massively, just sliding it around about a quarter of about 25% overlap on basically two 1 foot squares of tinfoil insulated from each other with a wire taped onto them real good, and just slide them around, and boy, it comes right up. Fun. Right up there with the raw crystal radio from Junk Parts.
So what was the metal material that you used?
Tinfoil, Reynolds wrap.
Oh my God, really was?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the loopy, the thing that went around?
It's just their flat panel. They're just flat. They just lay against each other.
But so you just did a tinfoil the whole length?
I took two 1 foot squares of tinfoil. I stripped the wire back about an inch and spread it out, and used some package tape to tape the wire down against each panel of tinfoil. And I just laid a piece of parchment paper between them.
Okay, but what's the loop of the antenna?
No, this is the capacitor.
Oh, okay.
For the loop. The capacitor
Right.
for the loop.
Right, but what's the loop made out of?
The loop is some old coax that I had. I just shorted the ends together and ran it around that cross piece that I've had sitting in the back here.
Yeah.
That I had the old hard line on. I just ran it around that, and it worked good for 20 and 40 as far as FT8 goes. And with the other capacitor, I would put 5 or 10 watts on it without any heartburn at all. But I honestly haven't until I got the measured the SWR on it. But for receiving, you get your volume, the way you tune a mag loop, you get the max volume out of it with that two pieces of tinfoil. That's just fun. Just
Neat.
that's
So
right
did you
up
do
there
the
with-
second loop? Did you have a feed loop in the bottom of that?
No, yeah, it has a feed loop. It's got a feed loop with the coax attached to it, and at the top, and then as the loop loop, the large loop came down to the bottom where they come near each other. I soldered on a pair of about foot long little wires and put those against the tinfoil and run the tinfoil across each other for capacitance. It works. You could roll them up in a tube and make a variable that way. It'd be more elegant, but we were really down and dirty at the time.
Hold my beer, watch this.
Exactly.
The Betty Crocker antenna.
It's
Remember the oatmeal antennas?
hey,
Or was it oatmeal radios? Oatmeal. You put a wire around the oatmeal can. Nobody knows what I'm talking about?
Nope.
probably your basic crystal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a crystal. I think that was a crystal. You did a cat's
It-
whisker or a crystal rig or something, and you put the. God, I'm gonna have to go look up what that
was
was.
toilet paper, oatmeal tubes,
Quaker Oats.
whatever. Yeah,
Oh, we'll have to go chase it down. I want some pictures of that antenna, Mark.
Here it is.
There it is. Look at that. Give me some detailed pictures. Look at that. So is the capacitor laying on the desk there?
yeah, that's the capacitor laying on the desk. Well, I ended up, I taped one to a piece of cardboard, and then I folded the parchment paper around the edge of the other one and put a little tape on it to stiffen them up. But they tune it
Cool.
just fine, boy. If you want a simple receiving antenna and you don't want to spend any money, there's
Huh.
all the plastic except the cross piece was junk salvage. Everything on it was salvage except an SL239.
I want pictures, Mark or Ken or whoever's
Well, Mark's got it now, so
okay. I want pictures. This
Okay.
can go in the newsletter. That's cool.
You got
That
it.
is dumbest
And-
thing I've ever seen work. That's
it-
cool.
it's just two plates near each other, and
Well, if you don't understand capacitor, you do now. I mean, that's
I
cool.
mean that's as basic a capacitor as you can build. Now, if you took some good Mylar or something in there and isolated the two panels a little better, you might put 5 or 10 watts on it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put any power on it as it sits.
Change the dielectric and just see what happens when you, yeah.
Jump through that parchment paper pretty quick, I think.
Yeah, probably would.
You may have already said this, but what's the capacitance on that? What amount of capacitance?
I did not measure it. I don't know, but I was looking for 20 to 300 picofarad kind of thing. And you know, your typical variable cap is what, 0 to 465 or something like that. The one that I've been using, the Tunes 40, I looked it up and it was something like 20 to 250 range is all it had. And that wasn't quite enough to make 20 meters completely happy with the wire I had, but it worked real good on 40.
So we've tried 20 and 40, and is that it? Did we try anything else?
Oh, I played with on it, but it
80?
do more, I'm sure. Mark, tune it up, find out.
I'll have to try it. I was basically just doing 20 today. Man, it, like I said, it was smoking.
No
No.
smoke.
Not literally.
Sorry, poor choice of words.
Yeah.
It was doing really, really good.
I don't like smoke tests.
It was functioning and exceeding. It was exceeding design requirements.
Big time. Big
Foiled
time.
again.
Hey, Jared just disappeared on us. I was going to give him a hard time. So we need to salute Jared. He just became a general Thursday.
I'm here. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1-star general. So did you use your general privileges yet, Jared?
No, I think I'm going to try and hop on the Oklahoma QSO party this weekend for my first official general operation.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a very good thing. Somebody read the newsletter.
I'm trying to see. I emailed Peter Laws, and I'm trying to see if I can get in the weather center and use the vertical up there.
Oh, yeah, Peter or Kim Elmore. Do you know Dr. Elmore?
Yeah. Peter asked him, and it sounds like everything is good to go.
That would be a good place to do that. I don't know what the entry, the payment for entry is up there.
Yeah, I don't either. I've been trying to figure it out, but it sounds like sorry. It seems like you just have to, as long as you're an OU student, it's not a big deal to get to at least that part of the building.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I'm going to try and get some more information by the end of the week. That way I know for sure if I'm going to get yelled at if I go up there.
Oh, I'm sure you will, but whether you get thrown in jail, that's the thing that's important.
Right.
That would be a cool thing. Peter might get you some more helpers there too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to let me go up there or not. The way Peter talks is that it's not an issue, but I don't know yet.
I'll fly my drone over the building and distract them.
Drop the toilet paper roll.
Get in a fight with the FAA and the FCC.
That's right.
And the weather service.
That's
Yeah,
right.
weather
Everybody's welcome.
Might as well get them all going.
You'll see all kinds of flashy lights down there, and they're all rolling dice for who gets to write the report.
What's
You guys
the
will know
distance
it's
from
me.
the airport?
Distance from the airport is what?
I don't know. I know there's an RC flying field right across the street, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
If you're at the flying field, at least. I don't know what around a weather center like that. I don't know. You might get in some deep doo doo if you do that. I don't know.
Yeah, they're a
There's
little skittish after that guy that showed up last time and had a bomb. They're not big into that.
I mean, granted, that seems like a good reason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really demeaning the people for that activity, but
I would say there's a distance around every airport, and the flying field's probably designated on the maps. so they don't have.
Yeah,
to,
I think it's within 5 or 10 miles.
5 miles, I think it is.
I think it's
5 miles
yeah.
on a yeah. Yep. Which in this town leaves out about the 90% of the town.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always forget. I'm about by the airport, just west of the airport, my office. And I keep forgetting there's a helipad about 400 feet north of my office. So it's like, whoops, that doesn't work. I keep wanting to take a drone and land it on their helipad and just see what happens.
I actually did fly my drone over the weather center before I found out it was not legal. When the Yagi was up there, I wanted to get up there and get some good pictures of it.
Those were neat. Those were neat. So who's wound up for an Oklahoma QSO party this weekend? Who didn't know about it? Who needs to know about it?
I did not know about it.
Well, see, you need to be a newsletter reader.
So I do usually the day after, because we talk about it and then I go read it.
Oh, well, that's okay. Because that lets people pre-read it for you.
That's my defense.
Yep. Oklahoma QSO party is Saturday 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and 10 to 4 on Sunday. And yes, we changed time zones this weekend. Where's Peter Laws when I need to gripe about that? God, I hate that. That's a really good place because a lot of people are looking for Oklahoma stations, and we become very popular that day. So now you can work FT8, but as far as their contest goes, you can't turn it in. It doesn't do anything. These are old school guys. Old school guys. Let me grab this, put it in the chat.
Okay. I got rid of my illegal resistor on my surface mount kit.
Oh, your through hole?
I got a replacement chip for the through hole resistor that I had on it.
Yay. Did it work?
Yep. Oh. Yep.
So
it works. He works. There he is.
Oh, look at it go.
Yep.
Yeah, you think the only one still that's built theirs. Sam's got his built, I'm sure.
Yeah, right.
I built one. I should do that.
Right after Morse code. Right after.
Okay, after Morse code, you have one.
Yeah, right after I knock out a couple 20 word per minute QSOs, I'll start on that. So.
There you go. There you go. Jared, did you get your
I'll settle for 10?
Hey, Ken, did you get that email I sent you?
I did.
You go.
When is that effort? When do they do that? Is that next weekend or
what?
Weekend after?
What are you talking about? The
Derby?
Derby?
Yeah.
Oh, that's June.
That's June.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, long time. Now I sent you a link to this guy that makes keys in Italy, and boy, I'd love to have one. Except I did the currency transition. 450 euros is a little beyond my divorce threshold.
That's a little pricey.
Yeah, well, it's beyond my divorce threshold. But
is that the Bertinelli or Bertelli or something?
No, I'd have to go look. But anyway, I sent you a link there. Anyway, he does this. He tests his keys, and I mean, it's just amazing watching this guy's hand do. I like the one with the. He's got a single paddle, and God, he just flies. And anyway, it's totally amazing to me how you can send and receive or send more that fast. It just blows me away.
Mark, do you have a question for me?
I did, sir. Did you get your last time we talked, you were having all kinds of power and questions, and did you get all of them answered to your satisfaction and you ready to go on the QSO party?
Yeah, I think I'm good. Luckily, I think the QSO party, I'm just gonna go south a little ways. My parents have some land, so I think I'm gonna go sit up down there.
Oh.
I think I'm trying to decide. I talked to Dr. Hayes. I was talking to him a bit this week, and I was trying to figure out the best way to do a battery, and he suggested I just build one out of 18650 cells.
Uh-huh.
But I was looking around and I don't know. It's almost just cheaper to buy them, like the 18650 cell batteries, because I was looking to build a 3S 8P 20 amp hour battery. You need 24 cells, and that comes out to like roughly $60. And I found a guy on eBay who sells them for 80. So by the time you buy the rest of the hardware and consider time, it's really just not even worth building your own. So I think I'm just going to go pre-built, and I found one, a 50 amp hour battery, 12 volt, for like $100. So way cheaper than like a BioInno, but also much more energy efficient than a SLA battery or something. So
Yep. Or you can always just tag jumper cables onto your car.
yeah, that's definitely an option. I just I'm trying to avoid that if possible, just because it makes me have to be close to my vehicle, and I don't necessarily want that to have to be a thing.
Got it.
Quick solution, yes. Long-term solution, I'll just spend $100 and get a 50 amp hour battery.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Make sure you figure out a way to charge it. Depending on the chemistry you get, they kind of get weird.
Yeah, the cool thing about those batteries, they're on eBay. I can send you a link to them. They come with a charger, a wall socket charger.
Yeah, shoot a link if you got one in the
Yeah, let me see.
chat. We'll do that. But yeah, those are. I know we looked at a lot of different options when we were looking at batteries a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mark, I just posted that link on the chat for this guy's videos where he tests the.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sorry, it's a little twice baked. It's a little long, but
yeah, well, that way you get the credit for the thing. Oh wow, that's a compact little setup.
Right, 50 amp hour, $100, comes with the charger. Eventually, I'd like to be able to hook it up to, probably put it in like a little ammo can and hook it up to a solar panel. But for now, that will do just fine. Because even
that's lithium. There's the charger.
Yeah,
there you go.
Because even running 100 watts, 50 amp hours last a few hours at least.
Yeah.
So.
And that's lithium ion, so you'll get good output of it. It doesn't go
you can
straight
pretty much almost fully discharge those things.
It comes with a charger. That's good. It's
what's that site?
It's just eBay.
It's eBay. It's in the chat. It's eBay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I think it's pretty nice. It's not too expensive.
$120 shipped.
Yeah.
Oh, it comes from China.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Never know. I'll be the guinea pig though.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you said guinea pig.
Uh-oh.
Of course, that's not politically correct anymore because the pigs get offended. But I found, you remember that 12 volt power supply we talked about on Happy Hour the other day?
Yes.
I found one in Elk City Saturday for $15, and I've got it in my.
How many amps? Oh, one of those little ones.
20.
We were talking about?
20. Yep.
Gotcha.
20 amps. I thought it'd be a good one to test to see how noisy they are.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one.
So if you're looking to test, it's 20 amps. I don't know if that's going to do enough for what you got.
Probably not, because I'm looking right now. I don't know if I'm going to go along with the whole like portable Go box shack in a box type thing, just because right now I have a heavy radio. But I'm looking to get an FT891. That's like a few months down the road goal. Hopefully, would be nice. Just got to get it approved by the wife. But yeah, so that's kind of the goal. But I think those things draw roughly 22. I mean, that's a max draw. 22 amps is like hold down the CW key.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those things draw about 22 amps maximum. But yeah, so I'll probably, if I do get something like that, it'll have to be at least 25 amps, just for security reasons. But I don't think you can get those in 25. I think it's 20 or 30 usually.
Yeah, I think that's all I've seen.
But even a 30 amp power supply in those are like $30, $20, super cheap.
$30 is what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Is that one of the server power supplies?
No, it's one of these cheapy. It's for the lights, the 12
They're
volt LEDs.
like LED light strips type things. Is what they're
20
built
amp?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of LEDs.
Oh, yeah, these guys. I mean,
They don't
mess
fill
around.
up pretty quick. That if you're doing color, it's 60 mA per
yeah.
full color, full brightness, 60 milliamps per LED.
I've got 3 of them in one house, not mine, but I've got 3 of them in another house. 2 amps to 60. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. Look at that.
Yeah, they make them, and they're super cheap too. The only thing kind of annoying about them is they don't have like a power switch, so you can't turn them on and off.
Well, you just put that in the cord. You got to wire
Yeah.
the cord. Yeah.
Yeah, you just build a power switch into the cord, but it'd be a lot nicer if they just had a cheapy little power switch on them. But
The right answer is nobody shuts them off. They, for that stuff, everything gets shut off, but it stays on 24 hours a day. This one that I got over the weekend was variable voltage too. You could,
it does 110 and 220.
No, well that too, but you could dial up the voltage 12 volt up and down.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm sure they're probably noisy little beasts coming from China, but they don't have any. I don't know. I would assume that they're not built to be not noisy. Radio is not exactly their primary intended application.
Yeah.
Could always just throw a crap load of ferrite chokes on them though, on your radio.
Chokes and caps and
Yeah.
all that.
That's all it is cleaning it up.
Just
I'll get you a
start
couple-
at your radio.
I'll get you a
And-
couple of pieces of tinfoil.
Just start at your radio and just put ferrite chokes all the way to the power supply.
Yeah, I don't know what. That's why I bought this one over the weekend. Is it to see how bad it was? I did. Ed had me program his Flex and his computer, and I have a power supply cheapie that I got for that Flex computer, and when I plug that thing in to the Flex to the computer, the Flex receiver went to 20/9 everywhere on the band, and if I'd let the computer run on battery power, it worked just fine. So
Yeah.
it's really easy to tell if they're bad or not.
Speaking of power, that's something I need to do this week. I have a SWR/power meter that I need to test this weekend as well. I think it's dead. I don't think it's still with the living SWR meters anymore, but it was given to me and it just needs tested out. I ran some stuff through it a while back and I couldn't get anything to read up on it, but I don't know. I need to sit around and play with it a little bit and see if it still works. Because it'd be nice.
What brand is it?
I think it's Yaesu.
Hello, Bill.
Well, there's Bill. We know Bill.
Good day.
Good day.
G'day.
Good day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Good day, mate. Mike's finally is back there. He's not getting run over by an airplane. P-51 or P-50, whatever it is.
P-38, wasn't it?
Corsair.
Corsair.
You.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Corsair.
Oh, should have known.
Hey guys.
Hi,
Hey,
Eric's there.
speaking, if I can take you guys down a rabbit track or a different rabbit hole just real quick.
We don't allow that. That doesn't happen.
Oh, I know. Mark, you would
Go ahead,
we
man.
had talked. It's been a while back, but I think when I was back when we were allowed to meet, in person, you had some inexpensive radios. I think they were VHF, UHF radios you were using for like the Shack in the Box or the portable ones. Do you know do you remember what model those were, or do you have any recommendations?
Are we talking like a handheld or a mobile?
10 watt.
It was a mobile. It was something you could, stick in a Go box.
If you want to go ultra cheap and kind of crappy, you always got the QYT KT 8900s. I think they're like $80 on Amazon, $82. They're not the greatest. The
There
receiver in
was
them's kind of
another-
terrible, but
There was another that was like 39 or 59, wasn't it, Mark?
Yeah, that we've had 3 or 4 of those. The Leixen,
yeah.
the Leixen is there, but that's about $80 also. I think these QITs are
I've heard mixed reviews. Some people say they're just about as good as you can get for $80, and then some people say you might as well just not spend your money on them.
typically they just don't have the best receivers, is what they don't have. Let's see, cheap. The Leixens, the QITs was one of them. The Leixen is another one.
Are you talking just 2 meter 440?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got one in my truck that's actually, I believe it's a TYT. I'm not for sure, but it does. It'll do quad receive on 4 different frequencies on dual band, 2 meter and 70 centimeter.
Yeah, the upgrade to that 8900 will do that. The 8900D.
Yeah, and it was only $90, I believe. I got it on eBay, and it actually came with the cigarette lighter plug, so I could just pull it out of my truck really easily and plug it into my power supply wherever or whatnot. And it does 25 watts on high, and it works pretty damn good actually. And I have no problem getting into the 1.9 in Shawnee on a quarter wave on my truck. So
Dang. Okay.
Yeah, but from where? From here or from?
Yeah, from Norman.
Oh,
yeah.
60
Okay.
in Alameda.
Okay. Well, I was just curious.
If I can find the link.
I just recently got my my new mobile radio, the FTM. I bought an FTM 400 XDR, so I'm still trying to figure out the bells and whistles on that one. But so far, it is freaking awesome.
Heck yeah.
everybody I know loves that radio. I mean, that's been a big.
It just hurts my soul to see how much it costs.
Well, I had a little extra money to spend, so otherwise I probably wouldn't have bought that.
Oh, I'm not. If I had $600 laying around, $500 laying around, heck yeah, no question.
Yeah, that's everybody that I know. That I don't know anything about that radio, but I know we've given them away at Hem Holiday for the last couple of years, and everybody that makes the decisions just says, "Oh, it's a great radio. It's great."
Yeah, it does APRS and GPS and everything else, right?
Yeah, I think PK. Oh, there he is now. I think we just said his name. Say his name 3 more times.
That's
I think
right.
PK's got one. Peter, do you have a FTM 400?
Peter has one of everything.
No, I don't. Yeah, I've got the FTM 400. What's the question? I'll try.
Mike's just got it, and he said he's spinning his wheels, getting it up and running, and smoke's coming off the wheels, and it's a cool radio.
I like it.
Yeah, it is. The only thing I don't like is that the memories are it's a flat. It's a flat 400 memories. You can't group it. You can't do anything.
Oh, well, I hadn't got that far with it. I did buy the software so I could program it, which was a lot easier than trying to hand hack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
I put that link in the chat, guys, if you want to check it out. You were right. I believe it's a QIT.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that 8900D. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one I've got in my truck, and it seems to work pretty damn good. Like I said, hey, Peter.
Okay.
What are you looking for a cheapie for? What's the? I mean,
just something to put in a go bag. I've got a Baofeng handheld which does okay. I'm on my 3rd or 4th antenna. I think it is. The last one I've got is it's about I don't know if you can see this, but it's probably about 2.5 feet long. It's a flat one. It folds in half for storage. So I'm trying that one out to see if how that works. But just looking for, I'm a gadget guy.
Yeah.
The wife hasn't told me no, I can't buy anything else yet. So I'm gonna take advantage of it while I can.
Have you tried putting a counterpoise on that mouth thing? I keep starting to do it, and I never get around to on mine. Just take a 16-inch wire and attach it to the ground and let it dangle. It's supposed to make a huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah, and hook it to that ground slug somehow. Just put it underneath a nut or.
Yeah, the belt clip on mine, I checked, and it's a ground, and the screw to it, and I keep thinking I'm going to do it, and then I just never get around to do it. But
you have to have a certain length of wire, or just
there's a YouTube video on it, and I think it's 16 inches.
Well, 19 is a VHF.
Maybe it's 19.
Yeah, 19 and a quarter technically, or something in that range. But anything helps is what I was seeing. It looks silly. It looks silly, but that's the only bad part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking about picking up one of those little KT8900Ds for now until I can get something a little nicer. But my car is so small that it actually, I think, would work well just because I have such a small form factor. I've also been looking at the Redivis DMR radio that Peter suggested to me, trying to decide what I want to do. That was just like $200 compared to 80, and I'm like,
the one I have on the screen now is this is a Leixen 898, and it does not have a great receiver. The front end receiver is pretty bad. So if you're looking for trying to get longer distance stuff, it's not the best for that, but it's free shipping and it's $65.90.
Yeah, mostly mine would be used driving back and forth to school and or work.
Yeah,
20 minutes one direction.
Great.
Yeah,
the club bought 7 or 8 of them, and we've got them in a go box. Like if we do memorial marathons or those kind of things, you just clamp them onto a battery and we've got those suction cup.
What is it? V898.
VV-898, and then there's another one that's higher power. That's I think W. If I remember right. Yeah, there it is. There's
those are 10 watts.
SSS. Yeah, that one's 10 watts. The S is 25 watts. No. The expensive one's $66. The cheap one's $58 now.
Yeah,
it used to.
I think I would probably go with the 25 watt. Just
Mark, what's that one picture down there on the far right? No, you just had it right there.
That's that 8900D that Eric and others were talking about. That's this. Where'd it go?
Oh, no, it was just in that. It was just in that picture you had on the other radio.
Yeah, this guy right here, 8900.
Thing to consider is for another $60, you're in the price range on a bargain day Yaesu or Kenwood, and they're not real big radios, but you'd be buying brand name and
that's my thing.
But the small car problem, you've got your priorities backwards. You need to get the car to fit your radios.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm working on it. Okay. Got to get that good engineering job money coming in first.
Need a big Buick.
Yeah, he's got a Mini Cooper.
Hey,
love that little car though.
You just don't let somebody else ride it. Let them get to ride in a car with you is all. You just fill the seat up with your gear.
Right. I will say the good thing about those Mini Coopers is getting through the firewall is easy as cake.
Okay.
They already have a slot
made
cut.
of.
Yeah. Cake.
I have to say, a lot of people give me crap for driving that car. It's so fun to drive. Little go-kart with a big engine. It's a go-kart with a real engine in it.
I pick cars like that out of my grill.
Yeah.
If you've seen my truck, I think Ken's seen my truck. If you've seen my truck and then seen your car next to it, I could put your car in my back seat.
He can go under yours.
Huh?
You could go under yours.
Yeah.
You're really going to like that, Mark, though, when we get $4 gasoline. And that Mini will be a sweetheart then.
Got 37 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Doesn't it just take premium? Or do they?
Well, they will take lower octane gas, but I would not suggest it.
Yeah. So you gotta
Unless you
pay
want
the-
to, unless you want to eat through some oil, yeah, just buy premium. At least
I had
that's
a
what I
buddy-
found.
I had a buddy that had a couple of them, and he always liked parking next to me at work. He'd always park on the unhail side, so my truck would block the hail off his Mini.
Yeah. I don't know. I love driving that thing. It's nice to be able to park wherever I want.
I rented a car that was even less than that one time up in New England, the Geo Metro. And I was on the weekend, I'd driven up to Maine and driving around, something kept bothering me, just distracting me. And finally I realized that when I went around a corner with a little bit of gusto, the frame bent enough to turn on the dome light. There's no metal in that car. That was terrible, but fun to drive, like a go-kart. Definitely fun to drive. But
yeah,
I literally warped the frame. The unibody would warp enough to loosen the door and turn on the dome light.
Yeah, I bought that car when I was driving a lot further before I was married and all that stuff. I was driving about an hour each way to school every day, sometimes multiple times a day if I had stuff going on. And so I wanted the gas mileage, and I didn't have a very good job at the time, and all that good stuff. And now I live 5 minutes from school, and so I'm trying to find something, but it's just I don't want to give up a cheap car payment.
That's smart.
It's important.
That's smart. You get electric bicycle for $400.
Yeah.
Maybe $600.
I had a buddy who put a little 2-stroke engine on a regular bicycle, rode it around campus. It was pretty funny.
Before I retired, I drove around Hefner on the way down to St. Anthony's from where I'm at now, and every morning there was some guy coming back to the west, going around the lake on a bicycle with a little 2-stroke, just wrapped as tight as he could wind it.
Yeah,
going about 35 miles an hour.
You can get little 2-stroke kits from China for like $150. They're so cheap. I think he rebuilt that engine like 6 times though in the 2 years he had it.
Carl's got that Bengali key. Is that what we were talking about for high dollar CW key, Sam?
That's a nice key. It really is. Really nice key.
I like it.
You've got one of those?
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, cool.
I put the link in chat a while ago, Mark, for the video from the guy that I was.
The Italian guy.
Yeah, the Italian guy. Oh, I like the single paddle, but pull that up.
It says not found.
Yeah, me too.
Well, maybe I typed it in.
I got it out of the email a while ago.
Holy cow.
I wasn't sure if I.
Yeah, there you go.
Holy
you
cow.
got it. It is a.
That's only 250 euros?
That's a bargain. The one I just saw, it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, look at the $12 3D printed keyer. Thank you.
Yeah, and happy with it.
That works.
But they do. I mean, Carl's right. If you ever use one of those, whoa, you don't go back.
It's got fuel injectors.
It's water cooled.
Mark, go to like key or go to video. See over to the right.
Thank you.
I think he's got it. Yeah, now play one of those videos. Watch this guy's hand. I mean, he starts out slow. I don't know if it'll. He's got this little routine he goes through to test these things.
Is that a bug?
Iambic.
Or
no, it's
iambic?
just no, I think it's just a single paddle.
Not a cootie?
No sound.
I think it's like me. It's got dual, but you can short it and make it into a cootie, or you can use for.
Is there sound?
Kind of hear it. It's faint.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to hear Mike's story too.
Yikes.
Yeah, you ought to watch out. It's not coming through very. It's kind
Oh.
of jumpy on my end here, but
Yeah.
it's amazing watching him key. And what gets me is how far he keeps his fingers away from the keys, and he just slaps the heck
Yeah.
out of that key from both sides. It's
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting one of the little straight key kits from American Morse Equipment. They just aluminum base, all the good stuff. You put it together yourself. Pretty nice little kit.
Okay.
I bought a little. You'll be able to see it. I bought a little CW Morse key. Just can't even see myself. Where am I?
It's
Yeah.
there you are.
Nice.
CW just to have a Morse key. You know, it was
Straight
$30
key.
or something. Just a little straight key.
From what I've read and stuff, the easiest way to learn is on a straight key and then transition. But a lot of people say just go straight to paddles.
Go straight to paddles.
Well, I
That's a good
think
point.
keying's easier with the paddle, but then once you've done a paddle, it's really hard to of any kind. Anything with a keyer, it's really hard to get the timing down of the DAWs being 3 times the dits. And
Is that
does
really
it for
something
you?
to do? Is that really something you want to do?
Mine's made out of paper clips.
No.
Nice.
No, if you're out trying to do, if you're out in the woods trying to,
Oh, yeah.
being able to key with anything would be good,
Hold that up there again.
That's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
The rubber band.
Yep.
That is
Works for-
redneck.
This is a piece of heat shrink here
All
that
right.
keeps the
tension
on these. But this thing, I'm telling you what, man, it works really well and it's very comfortable to use.
Very cool.
Just goes to show you can make it straight, or you can make a.
What's that? It's on.
Yeah, anything.
Is that a wood base or a?
Yeah, it's just on a old wood base that I had for something. I don't remember. It was probably an old plaque or something. And
I'm gonna have to steal some pictures off of this and put it on the web. That is we need to name that. What can we call that?
3 cent.
Clippy?
3 cent CW keyer.
Paperclip special.
well,
how many
Jeff
iterations did you have of that before you finished it?
no, this was the first version.
Okay, version 1. There you go.
Oh, good.
This is called Jeff sold his good key at a weak moment, and I like coming up with stuff that you can build from next to nothing. And so you'll certainly want to fly in my airplane with me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm busy that day.
That looks like something Ken would have quickly put together. And
Well, it's right in the ballpark with it's in the ballpark with my capacitor.
Yeah.
Well, I got the rubber bands on eBay. It can't be too bad. I mean,
Well, that's a little weird. Yep.
Was that
There we go.
Lucite?
It's a plastic toy key from a decoder kit that I got from my grandkids to build. And it's missing its little spring because the spring broke with great regularity on it. But so anyway, but I'm going to make it functional here before long.
all right, 100 words a
You need to
minute.
go to Ace Hardware and get you another spring.
Oh yeah, it needs a metal spring. It had a plastic spring. It needs a metal one.
Oh,
You mean you don't have 15 different variety of springs in that garage?
Well, I probably have one.
Hey, guys, if you want to see a ham shack, you go see Ken's. You name it, he's probably got it.
Junk shack.
Are those not the same thing?
Well, sometimes.
Yeah, there's a few things in the background there.
Depends on your point of view, right?
He's right.
Yeah, you would be surprised.
Depends. Are we asking our wives or are we asking ourselves?
Again, point of view.
Yeah.
Well, as Ken so like we put it, the house is his wife for his wife, and the garage is his.
I just changed my background to my key I'm using now. This came from the Ukraine.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
That's my head out of the way here. That's just a picture of it, but yeah, it's
wow,
it's beautiful, and it's a dual paddle, and but yeah, this guy. Just shipping and all is about $180, which was wife approved. So
well, that's about a bencher, isn't it? What's bencher paddles run?
Yeah.
Somewhere. I really like my bencher, but mine's 35 years old, probably.
This one's magnet return. I don't know if you can see.
I don't think the chocolate's
try to
good for
point
kids.
here, but no, it won't. But right above my head, there are two magnets in there that somehow that I haven't quite figured out. I think at some point they oppose each other, and
Oh yeah, now I see them. That's kind of cool.
No.
That's weird. Okay, who's arguing with Siri?
Siri's arguing with herself.
Oh. This is where we say, order big radio, send to.
I'm going to put this up if I get the camera to do it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't like that little thin plastic paddle, so I printed a big, thicker. Yeah, come on.
Oh yeah,
I printed a thicker one. That's more like my bencher. It's got the same distance, so I can go back and forth a lot easier. Kind of has the same feel, because they're. But
yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if you can see, but right here, in front of my finger, there are two magnets, and I really haven't quite figured out how they return both sides to neutral. But pretty nice. It's also heavy.
Is that gold plated or?
Yeah, right.
No, I mean I didn't know.
No, it's
brass.
But
For $180.
Yeah. Well, it's Ukrainian gold.
Really thin gold.
Ukrainian gold. But yeah, and I should mention my rattlesnake that hides under the desk here in my shack in case you come by uninvited.
No wonder your wife said yes.
My guard rattlesnake. Yeah.
Well, Mike, are you going to tell us about your antenna fix?
No, apparently.
I don't know if he. I don't know. He can't hear me. I guess he's missing part
Which
of
mic?
his. I'm sorry, KB5HXT. Yeah, part of your call
There
sign's
he is.
missing. Part of your call sign's missing from your caption there. But who was it? HXT that fixed his antenna, or
He had one broken.
yeah? I thought we were going to get the story on that tonight.
Well, we should. Where I don't even see him. Where's Ron? There's Bevo.
He's there. There he is.
Yep, I'm here
Oh,
for a little bit longer. Hey, now I got your attention. I got a question for you.
go ahead. Jump in.
Is it possible to be able to receive loud and clear on the repeater, but not be able to transmit? I mean, power wise, I mean, because I was trying to get into the
Phone-wise.
repeater last week on the rag chew, and I could hear everybody great, but when I tried to key in to contribute, nobody could hear me.
You got the
You
tone
have-
set right?
You have your PL tone set.
Yeah, positive offset, had the tone set correctly, just I couldn't get in. I thought maybe I had enough power to receive, but not transmit, but
Where are you located?
southeast of Draper Lake.
Oh, you should be able to get in.
Yeah.
Try outside first. See if that helps you.
Well, so earlier this evening, I actually got on the repeater and made contact with Jeff, actually, KD5CKK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever the issue was, it worked itself out. But I was just
Weird.
bewildered. Couldn't figure out how I could not get in.
He said you said you were a good signal, loud, clear, that kind of thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Jeff knows that that man listens more than anybody.
What kind of radio is it?
It's a Kenwood at TM V71A.
Oh.
How about right now? Does it?
Say again?
Can you get in right now? Can you?
I was on earlier, so I assume so. Yeah.
Okay.
The answer typically is you weren't holding your mouth correctly.
Mhm.
I don't know what would make a difference.
Did you pay your dues?
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Hank just updated that today, so maybe that's
Because the new rule is they'll let you listen, but you ain't talking.
that'd be kind of cool to enforce, wouldn't it? Random CTCSS tones.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like that could be fairly simply done in like DMR, where you have an ID number. You know. You
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be easy.
Tell the radio ignore this number. You know.
D-Stars same way.
Yeah.
Analog,
I think
not so much.
I think I, as a repeater admin, can dump people.
Oh, Mark?
Yeah.
Ich habe eine Frage. I have a question for you, buddy.
Go ahead.
I am trying like heck to get Brandmeister to reply to me so I can get a password for my hotspot.
Okay.
And I go on to the self-care thing.
Okay.
And I know I signed on. I made an account at one point in the past. And so I sign on, and they're wanting me to verify my email address. So fine, that's fine and dandy. They say that they're going to send me a link to, I know what it was. I forgot my password. So they're verifying my email address, and they're going to send me a link to reset my password.
Okay.
But I have tried about 5 times, and I cannot get those people to respond to me. I got on Google, and I found that there were a number of complaints about Brandmeister not getting back to people.
Well,
I know that they're run by volunteers, so I expected it to take maybe a little while, but it's going on a couple of months now.
How are you trying to get all of them?
The self-care, just like it says on our website.
Boy, they responded to me like an hour after I sent them.
Yeah, I was saying support. Wasn't that support at brandmeister.network? Is that what I sent you?
Now on the website, you give a link to the Brandmeister self-care. And so I clicked on that and went there and followed everything went fine as far as me giving them my information, but they just will not respond. And I've checked my spam folder, everything.
Wouldn't that support? There we go. Support. That's the thing, but I think what seems, but you have to be logged in to do that. And you can't get logged in, right?
Well,
no, it's his hotspot.
Yeah. But to do self-care, you have to be able to get logged in.
Well, I go there and I try to sign on to my account.
Forgot your password.
And they tell me, they tell me my password's wrong, which I don't know how that could be, but anyway. So
I think they changed the strength. So if you had a weak password, it won't let you come back in.
Okay.
So you have to go.
Then I clicked on forgot password.
Yeah.
So they want me to give them a email address, which I do. And then it pops up a little thing saying, we need to verify your email address before we can go any further. And I'm going, fine, no problem, do it. And hey, there's Phil. I cannot get them to respond to me.
Yeah.
Beyond that point.
They've changed the way they take it. And there's 3 ways. if you can get logged in here, it'll work. But if you can't, I think it's support at Brandmeister. I'll go look that up. And I think the
Okay.
other one is Telegram. If you're a Telegram user, they're over there, and they say they're over there night and day.
Western Union, you say?
Then you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't either.
Telegram is a WhatsApp kind of app thing.
Oh,
Hey, Jeff, do you have another email address you would have possibly used
No.
for that account? No?
no.
Okay.
I've had this same email address since I was a fetus. So
Gotcha. So you've got that at AOL.com address?
no.
Wow. Nail.
It's a CompuServe.
Well, they were owned by AOL.
At one point.
Not originally.
Not originally.
No, not originally. No.
Mine was 71.
All I know is when I did tech support for AOL, they were owned by them.
Oh yeah.
That was way late. That was
way late.
way late.
Of course, I was still in high school, man.
You went to high school?
Yeah, somewhere along the lines. I think I went to college somewhere too. Actually, a couple places.
I had an
tested
SBC
out of
Global.
everything.
I had an SBC Global address.
I still do.
Still do.
Early 80s.
I still do. Have several of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, let me know if you find out something, and I'll be glad to contact them a different way because, like I say, I've tried it 4 or 5 times now, and I can't get them to respond.
Mike Winkle had the same problem. Here's my message, and it's support at brandmeister.network.
That's what I was just gonna say.
That
I think
one
that's
works.
the address.
That's the right one. If you can't, if you fail, let me know, and I'll go straight through. I'm a Telegram user, and I can. Basically, it's like Discord. If you know what Discord is, it's like Teams. If you know what Teams is, it's yet another way to communicate.
Well, but on Telegram, you have to say stop at the end of every sentence, right?
No, it costs you $10.
Hey Jeff, I've got a contact over at Brandmeister. So if you still can't figure it out, let me know and I'll just shoot him a message directly.
Who am I hearing here?
It's Eric.
Oh, Eric. Okay. KC5KLD. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And
Sorry,
yeah, that email worked for Mike. Mike Winkle had the exact same problem. That's why it sounded familiar.
Okay.
And he wanted an email or wanted a number password for his deal. And this was December 28th, so it's really recent.
Support at brandmeister.network.
Correct. And he said that he got it no problem, and I did not. Now I can go on Telegram and grab one of the guys instantly, but if you send that email, you should work just fine. If you fail, hit Eric or I. And
one other question. This
you
might
only
be
get
handled.
one. That's it. You only get one.
This might be handled by the Brandmeister network. I'm not sure. I have tried many times to get my phone number upgraded on the club roster.
Is it there today? We got a brand new one today.
Oh, okay. I haven't looked today, but
go look today. I mean, I just uploaded it.
It's on there. I looked earlier today. I was listening when you were talking to. I don't remember who you're talking to, but I copied your number down and then I went and checked. It was
good.
updated.
Yeah, I was talking with Tom.
He's hired. Mike is hired, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I just put one. Brand got a new one from Hank, and I put it up there this morning. I think it was this morning or last night or one of the two. Within the last 24 hours, it went up there. So, and I know that Hank had 4 or 5 other changes that worked. So,
you never sleep, isn't it? All one big thing.
Well, it's pretty close.
Last night, this morning, it's just.
Hey Jeff, if you want to copy me on that email to support, feel free to.
Okay. What's your email address?
It's tcon@gmail.com. It's Tango Echo Echo Kilo Oscar November.
Hey, Peter Laws, while we have a second, did you ever hear anything else from Dr. Elmore on the...
I have not heard anything more from him. We'll figure it out by Friday.
Cool.
Probably.
You want to let Dr. Hayes in on that story? He might be.
Oh, is Hayes? Oh, didn't see him there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can get in the weather center, see if there's any restrictions on that stuff right now. See what we can do from up there. I was thinking if I could get in, I was going to go do the Oklahoma QSO party this weekend from up there. But
awesome.
We'll see.
The beam is no longer there, you know.
I know.
But there's a vertical there though, and a tuner, so you got to be able to have a little fun.
I think it's a 20-meter vertical, right? Roughly.
It's a one of those odd length ones. It's
43
a
footer, isn't it?
If
I remember.
footer, yeah, or a 31 footer or something. So it loads up pretty good on a lot of bands.
And there's also a dipole, right?
We talked about that, but I don't think it ever made it up there.
Yeah, it's connected, I think, to the outlook, that floor below. I think is what it was.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Above,
I'm not
actually,
stressing about it.
Yeah.
Above, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Floor above, whatever it is, that little cubby hole. Because
Ken would
you guys
know.
thought I was crazy, and I showed you that I am, but not because of that.
I just thought it'd be fun to get up there and operate under the station call sign.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly support that.
We have some of those new hams in the balloon group.
That's what I was
hoping.
hoping.
Free radios, Peter. Do you do the free radio? Are you in charge of that?
Me?
Yeah. Who distributes the free radios whenever my students want to join the club?
That's Mr. Mark.
Well, yeah, they got to join SCARS to get that. But.
That's what they're wanting to do.
If they want to join SCARS, yeah, talk to Mark would be one, or Hank's the treasurer. Or...
Yeah, Mark. I think most of those guys in the balloon group want to join SCARS and get their radios.
Cool.
Yeah, if we figure out we can get up in the weather center, I can get in the information to get up there. Probably, I'm assuming only have one person up there at a time right now.
Maybe two. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, back when we had real meetings, we'd had meetings, and those radios would go to the club president, and he'd present them to the new members as they come in and join. But I don't know what we're doing now.
Yeah, I got them. They're my desk.
We throw them at the new members from a sufficient
vehicle?
distance. We just moving vehicles, fine, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, throw them at least 6 feet away, 2 meters away. Throw them.
Can we use drones?
Awesome. Yes, absolutely.
No, my office is too close to the airport.
Oh, that's right.
We'll fly low.
We found out we could use a drone if we run the drone inside the room.
Correct.
Which we've done. We did that at a meeting, remember?
You remember I had that company come up?
Yep.
And they set up their drone and they ran it around the room.
Yep.
We wanted to go outside, but
at the airport, I don't know.
Nobody, they wouldn't let us go outside with it.
Probably a bad idea.
Not in this wind.
Walt was Walt was the deal. I found out later that Walt loves drones, and if you just go up there and let him see it, he'll let you do anything you want. But
he hasn't been.
He retired, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been gone for a while. Yeah, I had the opportunity to get the story on the old non-directional beacon that used to be there, and I never did get that. We should get him to be a ham radio operator and come to the club. So
Mike's in the chat who said his audio is not strong enough tonight, and he will tell his fixing his antenna story on the MacNet tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
So
thank you, Mike.
That's something to look forward to. And then Jonathan says, what new radios? If you join the club, you either get a $25 Bofang for your $25, or you get $25 off of a $75
Radioddity GD77.
GD77, which is a DMR radio. And if you want to do anything, I suggest is the GD77 for the $75, and then because it's about a $94 radio if you buy it elsewhere.
So it's a GD77?
GD77.
This one right here.
All right, I'm patching that into the balloon chat
That's
right now.
that's $75. The $25 for the Bofang, the $25 Bofang.
Yeah, you got to pay extra.
Hey, Professor Hayes.
Who? What? I'm only.
So
from $9.
I knew about the rockets and your little rocket squad, and I knew about the balloons and your little balloon battalion, and I knew you were fiddling with drones, but I didn't know you were launching drones from the rockets.
Drones from rockets. Go. We're actually going to go do that this weekend and see if it works, if the weather lets us.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear.
Kansas, same Argonia, Kansas place.
I saw the video thing there, and it was, and oh my god! And whoever made the logo is awesome.
That quote is from one of our alumni. We bring all the alumni in with. In fact, I'm getting the link for the video right now for everybody else.
Yeah, because you guys all need to see that video because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the students made it. They did a great job. So there's the link in chat for the video.
Yes, please take a moment and watch that at some point, because what they're doing is, what's the word for it? Insane.
It's rocket golf.
It's rocket golf with a drone.
Yeah, you launch a rocket, it goes supersonic, you pass 8,000 feet and bring a golf ball back down to the hole.
Oh my god!
With a drone?
Do they have a handicap rating yet?
What's the handicap when it hasn't worked yet?
I go with 100.
Well, if they can do that with a drone, they shouldn't have any trouble at all getting a long wire antenna strung over a tree.
Well, funny you say that.
Slingshots work pretty well.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they do. So do potato guns.
Potato guns, yeah.
Absolutely.
But firing potato guns in the park.
No. That's not a potato gun, Phil. That is not a potato gun. It is being recorded. That is an antenna launching device.
Antenna launching tool.
Share that to everybody, Mark, and just can you get the audio to work on it?
I don't know that I got audio hooked up, but
oh, okay. Well, you guys should go watch it because you don't understand. They're launching the drone from a rocket. Think about that for a bit.
That's amazing.
That's a deployment slow-mo is pretty cool, wasn't it? When it pops out of the
yeah.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's fun.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah,
it's in the chat.
The link's in
crap,
the chat.
That's a huge rocket.
You're not kidding around, man. And it's got to be big because it has a drone in it.
It's all right. It's okay. It's not that big.
No, it's not as big as some of the ones.
Well,
but
that's true. But
bigger ones.
Launch it off a balloon.
It's impressive. No, I just have to. I knew Dr. Hayes would get the inside joke.
Yeah, Jarod was part of the 1.15. What was the speed?
Yeah,
really fast is all I remember.
The last time we did this Argonia Cup competition, it hit Mach 1.6 going up, so that that was a little fast.
I don't know if I have
the students had to make a few last-minute changes, so it went Mach 1.6 with wet Bondo on the nose.
Wow.
It was pretty awesome.
What did it look like when it came down? Did it deform?
It didn't look like it looked like Bondo. It was cool.
It worked,
but it didn't deform while it wasn't wet enough that it deformed in flight.
I was going to say,
it deformed. Yeah, it was a different shape when it came back down, but it worked.
I was going to say, was it was it frozen Bondo?
It wasn't frozen. No, it's they had they had to patch a hole at the last moment.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Rusty's frozen Bondo. That didn't throw the balance off?
There's a bit of a margin in all this. You don't have to be absolutely perfect. You just have to know how much is too much, really. There's a range where it'll still work.
There's the
gotta love those SolidWorks exploded views.
Yeah, man, we had some of my students, they get stuck inside for COVID, and apparently they just learned how to do like 3D renderings and a lot of extra stuff. Some of them did nothing during COVID, and others just like spent their entire lives learning more about engineering. So it's interesting to see the different directions they go.
That's the word self-motivated.
Yeah.
Difference between an A and a D. There you go, right there.
But no, it's neat. Yeah, hopefully this weekend, if the weather cooperates, we'll go up there and see if it works.
Okay, going up to Kansas.
Yeah.
Oh man, now I'm torn.
Kind of their final grade on it.
Well, I don't base their grades off of actual flight performance. I can base a grade on readiness, preparedness, technical product, but I understand sometimes you can do everything right and weird things.
and it still blows up on the pad.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Musk, I'm glad you came along.
Only after landing.
Well, either way.
But it looked good doing somewhere.
it. Yeah, so that exploded view right here is just really cool.
It really was. Yeah.
I'm taking I'm taking a class learning how to do this right now, and it's just
I
making
think
me
that's
jealous.
Tyler. If you want to talk to Tyler about that, he's the one who put that together.
Swisher?
Yeah.
Gosh, does that guy not know how to do anything? Does he? I think he
He
just
knows
knows
how to do everything. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
Good news is at some point he didn't know how to do anything, and guess what happened? Wow.
Yeah, he was trying to get me. I couldn't make it. He tried to get me to come to their injection chart testing, but I couldn't make it that day. I was sad.
Wow. We were there blowing stuff up. Was for science.
Hey,
that's why I wanted to go.
I talked with John Stratton, who's our ARRL district director dude, and told him our story of our four hams that went from no license to putting up a balloon in 48 hours.
Yeah.
and he said, you write any of that up and send pictures, we will get it in QST. He said they are starved for good content.
Oh,
Clearly.
If you did all 5 of these as a little deal, that would be cool.
Did all 5 of what?
Of your capstone projects.
No, not all of them are radio related, but I guess they're getting closer and closer, aren't they?
Well, I mean, okay, how do you get the drone?
Yeah, I guess here DBF has a radio transmitter, like an RC transmitter.
How do you
BRT's got video coming back down.
How do you
get they all kind of are the radio, aren't they?
Stationary drone? How do you get that one's up there?
Yeah,
radio.
right.
What's
You got me.
tell me one that you don't have that doesn't have radio in it.
Okay.
But they said whatever you wrote up, he said they would be he said they would get it printed because he went, you did what? I said, yeah, we did a test Thursday and they were flying in a balloon Saturday.
Did you remind him that was no thanks to the ARRL?
Yeah, I reminded them that the ARRL license would still not be here, and the guy
for another 2 weeks.
Yeah. And he said that would really help my case when I try to tell him we need to fix this stuff.
Yeah, that is a story. There it goes. Yep.
That is stupid.
Yeah, isn't it? It's awesome.
That's like rocket surgery.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out.
Or it goes down in flames big, one of the two.
Yeah. We've got multiple copies of it. I think they've got two versions of it done. So the first one can fail horribly. They'll still have another shot.
Excellent.
Are you guys going Saturday, Dr. Hayes?
Sunday.
Ooh, I can make both.
Excellent. There's the logo.
Yeah, I was there for that quote. That was great.
Yeah, that's one
So
of
is
our
that a
alumni
spectator
asked him that
sport?
question. What was it, Lyndall?
Is that a spectator sport?
It can be if you want to go all the way up to Argonia, Kansas. For the actual fly off would be better to go watch. This weekend is just if the weather's for nice, we'll just go up there for practice.
But are you doing a fly off this year?
Yeah, they're still hosting the competition. I don't know if it's open to the public or not, but they're doing that. Is it the 25th, Jared?
I believe so.
Mark, you've got some kind of orange smudge on your screen there. What's
I don't like that.
There.
Hey, I graduated from there.
That's probably Dr. Jacob, right?
Yeah, that's the OSU group this year.
Yeah, I know Jamie. I've known him through drone stuff for a while, so I can't gripe on the orange stuff. But she does have a red mask. She does have a red mask.
Oh, that's a good point.
She might be a defector. Maybe you could get her, Thomas.
Where is this fly off you speak of?
Argonia, Kansas. So it's about 2 to 2.5 hours north of us, just barely over the Kansas border. I just put the link to the competition there in the chat. The competition will be held the weekend.
I'm going to be out of town this weekend already. I've got to go take care of a elderly friend that just got a pacemaker. But when is plus the fly off you mentioned? Where is
27th, 28th? It looks like. Is that right?
Yeah, March 27th and 28th up there in the same place, Argonia, Kansas. It's a really good group of Rocketeers organized similarly to what SCARS is. They just do rockets instead of radios. But it's a really good group of folks that get out there, and really it's the whole region comes there to fly. You'll have people come from Wisconsin and Michigan and all over the country to come fly in Kansas because their airspace goes so high.
Yeah, I remember when you spoke at the club meeting, I remember you said that there aren't that many places where you can fly the big stuff.
That's correct. The only place you can go to fly stuff bigger than what they do in Kansas is probably Black Rock Salt Flats. They do that once a year.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
It's called Spaceport America in New Mexico.
Is it New Mexico?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
Spaceport
also where
America.
they do, Burning Man, right?
Yeah. Same salt
different
flat,
event.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, same salt flat, different event.
Show up a week early and you can catch both events. No, just
I've got an 8-seater drone if anybody wants to fly up there with me.
8-seater.
Yeah, wait. We talked about this earlier. No.
Oh. I'm a
Just
slow
say
learner.
no.
I'm
no,
a slow learner.
cool ones to go see if you only want to make the drive once. The cool ones would be to go when they're doing what's it called? Is it Airfest?
Airfest, or some years I host LDRS, which literally stands for Large Dangerous Rocket Ships.
I like it.
Airfest is 4 days straight of just rockets for 10 hours a day. It's pretty
It's
awesome.
like pumpkin chucking with rockets.
Push the button, spin $1,000. Push the button, spin $2,000.
Yeah, we saw that P motor go to, what was it? Was it 47 or 27?
It went to goodbye land. It was gone.
I think they had to go get it. It was like 50 miles away from the launch pad when they finally found it. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I remember you doing that presentation for Scars, and I remember it played the thing back, and the first time you played that video, and I just stood there with my mouth open. I never saw anything. It just was like, whoa, that's impressive.
Well, it's cool to be able to do. I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad you like it.
We get to do some more, right, in a few months?
Are the big ones or little ones or?
Well, I thought you said we were going to get to start doing some research again.
Hope so.
Hopefully.
Hope so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hope so.
Big boys.
Got to get everything open back up.
Yeah.
Get your everybody that's school related can now get your little shots, and everybody on this deal probably can get their shots.
Got mine today, right in that arm.
Did you really?
Yeah, actually, the Chickasaw Nation opened it up to faculty, even regardless of tribal affiliation. So I was able to get a spot.
Yeah,
very good.
Yeah, I actually tried to get one scheduled today through Indian Health Services on the advice of my doctor.
They were very well organized. It was a drive-through clinic. Just
they are
through.
Every one of them
set up
is
nicely.
Every one of them is that way. They just all have their stuff together in Oklahoma. I know other states aren't that way, but man, this stuff's brutal.
They need to share their expertise with the motor vehicle department.
Oh my God, don't even go there.
I tried to get my license renewed, and there's an effort in utility.
I have to drive to Lawton because you can't get a CDL done in Norman.
Wow.
So does that mean I can go to the online portal and actually register to get a shot?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the weak link in this chain is the online portal.
Well, that just gives you an entry. That's an entry ticket. Then you have to go find something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have to find the golden ticket.
If you want a shot, if you'll drive to Poto, Oklahoma, they had 275 shots available.
Okay.
And they load new ones on Wednesday afternoon. Is what I've been told. That's when they find out how much they'll get for next week. How many shots they'll get.
The thing is,
I was told Thursday mornings.
The thing is with myself is I don't have an Oklahoma ID yet because of the stupid DMV thing going on.
Do you have a bill in your name?
I do, absolutely.
That's all you
There you
need.
go.
There you go.
That's all you got to have.
Like
Okay.
You're an Okie
bill or something like that.
Yeah, I just I've been trying to go to the DMV for months now, and it's almost impossible.
I think that's what Ken was saying earlier, just about 3 minutes ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're supposed to be able to get your license within a month of when it expires. It only takes 3 months to get an appointment.
A year, you can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to drive for 2 months without a license.
Well, they told me don't sweat it because my Texas license doesn't expire till 2025.
Well, you're probably good
you're
then.
fine.
But
Yeah, I know my wife and I got married in June, and the Social Security office is still being a pain for us because none of the physical offices are open, and they were giving her the runaround online. So
I've been through the runaround. I've had an appointment scheduled when I was living over in Seminole. Drove to Shawnee to do the appointment. Got there and had my birth certificate, my Texas ID, driver's license, everything, and they said, "Sorry, we can't see you."
Oh, you're from Texas. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's a different thing.
Is this a tag agency thing or is this a?
Well, no.
No,
go
you
to the
gotta
highway
go to
Red River
DPS.
discrimination.
the the state is mandating the driver, the tag agents, to act like they're government.
No, the problem is a friend of mine runs a tag
It's
agency.
the real ID.
It's the real ID, and the state system is so slow. The friend of mine can process all he can do by 10 o'clock in the morning. They open at 9. So from 9 to 10, they process new licenses, and it takes the entire rest of the day for the state to do the paperwork.
Wow.
Now, if
Well,
you
like
don't need a real
Piedmont
ID, you can go
Piedmont's
quick.
tag agency was still doing the old IDs if you didn't want the real IDs, but they came and took their camera away, so they
But I
can't
mean,
do
I-
anything of them now.
I still have a valid Texas driver's license.
You're
it does
fine.
it does say Austin, Texas on it. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
You might get more tickets up here than that. That's the only thing.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the real ID business. That's just yeah.
So I should
Well, we
technically
resisted it
be-
as long as we could, I think, here. But
So I
two
should
governors.
technically be able to go register for another appointment, maybe here in Norman or somewhere, and actually go to the DMV and get a new license.
Eric, when it's not recorded, give me a call. And look at that guy. Isn't he cute? Not that guy. Not that
That's Alex. That's the size of the motors we shoot on those. They're big.
Was that a motor or was
Yeah.
that the payload?
That was the motor.
Oh.
That's the
Yeah,
rocket.
That big cylinder was the motor.
Here we go. Hang on.
Whoa! See ya. We're out of here.
It was so cold. That wasn't even the cold one though. Do you remember that February, Dr. Hayes?
Yeah, like 5 degrees. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember.
So
first
how
time I
high do
saw
your
that,
rockets go?
How what?
How high
high.
do your rockets go?
That one went. I don't remember
There
exactly
it
what
is.
that one is.
14,350, 60,
Yeah.
396, 15,000 feet, 14,500.
I think that's the highest we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
also the thing is the customer we were working for, they weren't really interested in altitude usually. They were more interested in acceleration. So
Yeah. There's that.
Well, they can obviously carry a camera. What other type of payload, if any?
good question.
Whatever the customer wants us to fly.
So, Jared, did they measure that in FPS? Is that how the speed is measured, or
What do you mean? The
feet per second?
Yeah. We had. I don't know what that one went to. I would
That
have to
says
go look at-
1.15 is what that one said. Mach.
Yeah. And it would. I
Look at
don't know
that
what
key
the
there.
exact speed would be, just because it
Gotcha.
changes with the
Yeah, with the
pressure, but-
atmospheric conditions, sure.
Yeah, but roughly what 770 feet per second for Mach 1. Is that roughly correct?
Feet per second, 1,100.
1100. Okay.
Okay, I thought this was just a learning thing. So you carry payloads for money?
Yeah, how
It
much
said
do you
launch-
have?
Well, they said
Just-
customer, so I'm curious.
Yeah, if you want to launch something, we'll send you the price list.
What about does the price vary per launch site?
Oh, it's a small contract with a customer that basically lets us earn just enough to give the students the experience.
Gotcha.
It's certainly not a big moneymaker, but it pays for the motors. It pays for some small amount of student time. So it's on the scale of university research, it's closer to an unpaid internship than a new multi-million-dollar contract.
Yeah, I know about a few of those.
Way more fun though.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have to get?
It's a great experience to keep going. So, but yeah, it'd be great to grow it into something even bigger.
Do you guys have to have FAA approval for some of your flights?
Oh yeah, every one of them. That's why we go to Kansas. We don't just drive up there for fun. They have approved airspace.
Oh, okay.
What are they approved up to 40,000
50.
anytime?
They can call it into 50. Normally it sits at I think just about 37. And whenever you show up with a special rocket that wants to go higher, they can call it in.
That's how West Central Texas was, where I grew up when we used to build rockets. Same way. I think it was approved up to 40,000.
Yeah. I actually looked at getting more spots approved in Oklahoma, but you'd be surprised how much airspace is occupied by Enid and Altus and Oklahoma City's airport, Tulsa Airport. It's kind of hard to find an open spot for airspace.
Well, we get 3 Air Force bases plus auxiliary fields. So
Yeah,
and fields
not
every
to mention
10
all the
miles.
Black Ops stuff going on.
no, we don't talk about that. First rule of Black Ops: you don't talk about Black Ops.
Oh, trust me, I've seen plenty of it
Black
living
Ops
out in
matter.
Seminole.
Well, not
Black
to beat a
Ops
dead
matter.
horse, but I'm curious of what kind of payloads y'all have y'all carried up.
We don't know. That's the thing. It's not that we can't. It's not that we can't tell you we'd have to kill you. It's just we don't actually know. They hand us a cylinder and say, "Put this in your rocket. Thanks, bye."
Oh wow!
Really?
So,
Great.
So what do? Ship it back then? You ship it back to the vendor?
More or less. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you what we launched, but I don't know.
Boy, this is going to make my drug business so much easier.
Hey Jeff, that's why I was asking if they determine locations where I could launch from.
Yeah.
I will warn you, when you're writing your proposal to the university to have us do it, don't put that it's a drug business. Not a good call.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you told me that.
Just say generic pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Aspirin.
I'm just gonna say frozen groceries.
Anybody have an eraser?
Oh golly. Can we go across international borders?
Yeah.
Do you still go out? You guys do go out with the OKC group as well to say once in a while?
So Sarah, we haven't done much rocket stuff in the past year. Unfortunately, we tried to set up in the fall a few launches at Sayre. In fact, Jarod did a whole bunch of legwork, arranging for launches and organizing times. So he did a lot of good work there. But then unfortunately, students got pretty occupied elsewhere with all the COVID precautions and other things.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty hard this year to get the average student to show up and be as participatory as they might be in previous years. So hopefully once we're back fully in person in the future, all that interest and motivation will return right back with it.
Yeah, I've had a couple. Go ahead. Sorry, Peter.
No, go ahead, Jarod.
Yeah, I've had a couple people in our group me, whatever, that a couple students asked me, hey, can we go do launches this semester? And I said, yeah, we're totally equipped to do that. And I said, you tell me when you're going to be available, because last semester I set up 3 or 4 launches and it was a lot of legwork to not get anything out of it. And I said, you tell me when you're going to be available and let me know when you want to go and we'll set it up. But I haven't heard anything back. So.
Yeah, because I remember a while back, if you launched out of Sayre, the Oklahoma group, when they launched out of Sayre, they could get clearance up to close to 30,000 feet for like a 1 or 2 hour windows and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have a lot tougher time down there. Most of the time, the flight waiver is a lot lower. They can get it, but you usually have to let them know well in advance if you want higher flight waivers out there.
They're pretty close to a bunch of the Altus corridors, so they coordinate most directly with Altus Air Force Base.
Oh, okay.
Here's where we need to go, boys and girls. LDRS 39s, Utah this year.
Oh yeah. They launched the big stuff.
I'm down.
Oh yeah. Hey,
how far is the drive?
Mark, look at a part of the LDRS challenge is lofting the a bowling ball.
Bless you. A bowling ball? Are there pins?
Springtime.
On the way down?
People have launched porta potties before.
Sounds like pumpkin chucking.
Yeah. Golly. So that's
you can launch a porta potty. It just depends on how high you want it to go.
LDRS is just hey, I have a dumb idea, let's do it.
I have a dumb idea and way too much money.
Yeah.
Money to literally burn.
Yeah. I've got $10,000 in my pocket. Let's strap some rocket motors.
Well, that's the Elon Musk story on Netflix, right? I mean, that's
Is that kind of like launching the hot water tanks?
Yeah. There you go, Jarod.
17-hour drive? Is that what that says?
17 and a half, 1,400 miles, 1,320 miles.
We can make that one straight shot, right?
Yeah.
No problem.
We'll take the radio equipment and hit some uncommon grid squares on the way.
Yeah.
You've really bought into this radio thing, haven't you, Jarod?
I've spent. If you saw my search history in the past couple of weeks, it's bad. I have way too much money like already racked up in my brain. Just like, all right, cha-ching, cha-ching. I just want to build this. I want to buy this. It's a problem.
Yeah, I thought about signing on saying, my name is Lyndall Smith and I'm a radioholic. I haven't bought a radio in 5 days.
And that would be a lie.
Hi, Lyndall.
We all know
Welcome to the
that,
group. Welcome to the group, Wendell.
One thing I have
the
noticed.
back, Wendell.
I gotta stop talking to Mark though, because he's an enabler. It's a problem.
He is.
Yes.
That's a good term for it.
Yes.
That's a
We
good
all agree
term.
to that.
Yep, we can all blame Mark.
Yep.
Yep.
I actually talked Michelle into a 7300 down at Ardmore one time just for the fun of it.
'Cause now he's got me. I was like, wow, that license, it's only $60. I mean, that's not that bad. I mean, could have it here 5 days.
60 here, 60 there.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's real money.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's
Pretty
all
soon you
fun
got
until
5.
somebody loses an eye.
Pretty soon you got 5 projects stacked up, and you don't know. You start looking for new ones.
I got 500. I don't know, not even close to 5.
Yeah, but do you have parts for them all?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mark.
I can.
You're right. He's an enabler.
I have kits. Remember, I sell kits.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
that's right. Yeah. Well, that's kind of different, though. I mean, those aren't your projects. Those
No.
are other people's projects in waiting.
That's true. That's true. But I've got plenty.
Jared, if you want a radio in a box, you get a Yaesu FT 991A.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I've been looking at the 891. The 991A I like because it has UHF VHF, but I don't know. It's a lot
That's
more.
that's what I've been playing with all day.
Yeah, I don't know. I have the Kenwood TS2000. The only problem I have with it is it's just so heavy. It's like 18 point something pounds.
See, a 7300 be a lot lighter. You need one of those.
Yeah.
and you can mount that other one in the Mini Cooper because there's plenty of spot in that back seat.
Yeah.
You just run a mic cable up through the back. Well, I have heard it's really easy to get through the firewall.
It is actually. I've checked. I have checked how hard it is to get through the firewall in that car.
So you could put, maybe a screwdriver antenna on there so you can, adjust it as you go down the road. So you can work 80.
Wolf River Coil. Mount that on
This
the
all
radio.
all sounds completely reasonable, Mark.
Yeah, I think so.
Except the antenna is heavier than the car, isn't it?
I think
I hope you don't hit a big wind.
You said Wolf River Coil. Is Jonathan, are you listening? Can you hear us now? I think he's got a Wolf River Coil he needs tuned, is what I
there you go.
So when you're looking to figure out how they get tuned, Jared, you could tune Jonathan's for him, and then you could buy one. He'll tell you where you get to buy one.
I've been watching some stuff on them. They don't look too terrible to tune. I don't know.
He says he's got a text. He says he's there. He needs to tune one. Audio issues again.
They're just really narrow banded.
Yeah.
Is that the key? He needs
it's really narrow banded. I have one. I was using it for POTA and for when I went out mobile and yeah, they're just super narrow.
Yeah, I've heard a good way to solve that issue is to forego I think it's 102-inch whip that they send with the Wolf River Coils, and buy one of I know MFJ sells them, Chameleon Antennas sells them. They're the 17-foot whips, the telescoping whips, and you can actually, at least on 40, they will open up the majority of the band. I know you can get from down from the FT8 end of the band all the way up to the phone portion of the band if you get one of those 17-foot whips.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Might look into that.
He just put a note up, said he wants to get it so he can mark them to get close. Is what he needs to do, and then tune it out in the field is what he's saying later.
Yeah, that's what I did with mine.
What we're talking about is this a screwdriver?
Pretty much. I've heard that they're way easier to tune if you have an analyzer hooked up to them. You can tune them pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think we've all got a bunch of people got analyzers. Jonathan's in the Noble area. If anybody wants to help him with that,
I mean, you can get close just by moving it and listening to the audio, but yeah, you really do need to tune them. And what I did is I drilled a hole in one side and then I mark it with a Sharpie and mark that line with a Sharpie so that I can go right down to it. I did that on.
Do you have the?
20,
Oops,
I had the 1000.
Okay.
The longer
one.
one.
I've been thinking about I've been looking at the mini.
Yeah. I haven't tried the mini. I have the 1000 and I've tuned it for 40 and 20, and once you get it in, and once you dial it in and mark it, you're good to go.
He says he's got the 1,000 as well. Are we tuning this? What I've got on the screen here is, are we tuning the coil or are we turning a whip, or both?
So you throw the whip up and then you use the coil to tune. You move it up and down the coil, and you can rotate it for fine tuning.
Yeah.
Rotate
the collar.
The collar.
Like a little plastic collar with a little clip on the inside.
Yeah, there's a little tang on the inside.
Like this little red thing that's hanging.
Yeah,
down?
what they did there, I actually saw that picture earlier today. They took the collar off and they're just using a piece of just a little wire with a bend in it instead of the actual collar.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's a real collar.
Yeah, it's a piece of PVC pipe with a spring-loaded collar on it.
Yeah.
It's spring-loaded.
So that's kind of like a buddy pole.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a buddy pole like that.
Well, don't they have
I
a
don't
tube
use buddy
like
poles.
I think
thought
they
had
just use an
some-
alligator clip, right?
Yeah, I thought they had to have some sort
They have a little
alligator clip.
You kind of put in a banana plug.
It's the same thing. I mean, all you're doing is arcing an electrical connection to a certain spot on the coil.
Yeah.
Changing the impedance.
And the Wolf River Coil just uses a larger diameter, essentially a collar. It's a piece of pipe, is what it is.
Hey Mark, it's Wolf River Coil. You can just search Wolf River Coil on the internet, and it'll bring up their website.
Okay.
They're pretty neat.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go just with like a regular old in-fed half wave for now, just for usability and ease purposes, just because I don't have an analyzer.
I've got one. I just didn't. My problem with John's thing is that.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can add anything, because if we knew how to. So this coil, this plastic thing.
Yep. Slides up and down and rotates.
So it slides down and it rotates to get around. So you get on the right layer, and then you rotate it to get a half a layer, or a quarter layer or something.
Correct.
Yeah, and they give you instructions as to it's a rough tune, basically, to how far down from the top you go.
Technically, you don't have to have a tuner with those antennas. That's the goal.
Yeah, well, you're actually tuning the antenna. Yeah,
right.
Right.
And they also have 2 collar kits. But frankly, you can make them yourself if you really want to,
or just use a piece of wire.
Or use a piece of wire. Yeah. I don't use they say you can use it as a mobile antenna. I've never done so.
I assumed this was a mobile antenna. No,
it's built for like parks on the air, soda, things like that. Portable work.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't take them to the airport, because they look at you funny, because it's a coiled up piece of PVC.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, there's the pieces on the left-hand side of my screen here now.
Yeah, they sell it. You can get just the coil. You can get the whole kit. You can get just the tripods for them. They're pretty cool. They're entirely modular too.
Yeah.
So if you have the mini, you can use the 1000 on all of the parts you already have. You can buy more radials for it. It's cool.
So the 1000 gives us 80
through 10.
80 through 10.
And then the mini gives you 40 through 10. But I've read that if you use the MFJ 17-foot whip, you can get 80 through 10 on the mini, because you have a longer whip antenna.
Yeah, because the collapsible one is 10 foot, 12 foot. I think it's 12 foot.
The one that comes with it.
Yeah.
I think it's
The one you can
102 inches. I don't think it's
Yeah, but hey, Jarod, one thing to remember: if you can spring for the larger coil, go with it. The smaller coil, you're just going to lose the efficiency. One tuning method I do for these, someone had mentioned, you can slide it for the most noise, and then once you're there, what I do, it takes a while, but it works just fine. Is use the built-in SWR meter on the rig. Turn it down to a couple of 1 or 5 watts, and then what you do is you got to just jot it down on a piece of paper. Look at the SWR, just the relative SWR strength on the bottom of the band, middle of the band, top of the band, and then you just keep moving it until it needs to be where it is. And that has always worked for me. And then if I throw in the analyzer, it's it works out exactly the same.
Right.
So you key up Yeah, you put the Morse key on it, and then you just key up, look at it. If at the bottom of the band it's low, and then the top of the band is high, and then you need to move. That means the resonance is too low. You need to increase the resonance. Then you shorten the coil, and then vice versa. So you can tune those up without a analyzer.
Yeah, he's just wanting the market to get close, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And they're
that
really
looks
cool.
like I had a Webster band spanner. Anybody know what a Webster band spanner is? Yeah, I didn't think so. 1930s, they came out with a Webster band spanner. It was a piece of fiberglass that had coils on the inside, and as you pulled the whip out, it grabbed the coils all the way up, and it was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, I've been debating. Go ahead. Sorry.
I apologize. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't.
I was gonna say, isn't that like a Slinky antenna on a fiberglass pole?
Kinda, and you're tapping the Slinky off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a Slinky is just shortening. It's just a coil.
If you want a Slinky antenna, there's a guy who makes those. I don't know if you guys have heard about it.
Oh, the $89 one.
Yeah, it's called Quirky QRP. I think you can only run like 20 watts through them. They're pretty cool.
No, what is it? KMRD just did.
KMRD.
Yeah, he did a review, and I think he was running 50 or 100 through it.
I thought he was
Mark's playing with it right now.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I got a Slinky right here.
Oh. Yeah. No, it's a guy. I think it's on Etsy. I don't think
put it on the stairs. Put it on the stairs. Put it on the stairs.
It's a guy it's a business called Quirky QRP, and yeah.
Let me see if I can find it, because I just emailed him about it. So give me a second here.
As you can tell, Dr. Hayes, I spend way too much time doing this. I should probably spend more time reading the textbook. But
this is after you've gotten the class for his.
Yes, of course.
I did a couple homeworks for you, man. Sorry.
I know. I saw it. But hey, when I don't have homeworks to do, this is what happens.
There's his Facebook group.
That's not going to work out, Jared. Sorry, man.
Did you find it?
It's a Facebook group, is what it looks like.
Yeah. Well, he sells them through Etsy.
Yeah, I think last time I heard, he's pretty low on stock right now.
Yeah,
he's having trouble getting
this zeroed out on stock from because I contacted him to find out what his when he is supposed to be getting some in.
He has these little CW keyers that fit on a key ring. They go on your key ring, and you can just hook an antenna up to them, and they're I assume they're just crystal based. They're just like a miniature Pixie kit that goes on your key ring. They're awesome.
It's not just a keyer; it's a transmitter.
Yeah, it's a full-on transmitter. Yeah,
that's funny.
They're about this big.
And you're griping at me for being an enabler.
Hey, see, the difference is the things I suggest are like $12 or $20. The things you suggest are like $1,200.
We know what kind of girl you are. We're just arguing price. Is that what I hear?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Holy cow.
Ow. That was a low blow, Mark.
Charlene says she feels their pain with all my $1,200 purchases or $12 purchases.
Oh, I thought you meant she's used to dealing with 8th graders.
Yeah, she is used to. Actually, about 10 minutes into this discussion tonight, she walked by and says, "That sounds like my class, 8th graders." Yeah,
we haven't even started yet. Jeez.
Yeah, we got to go. Look at this. We got us all kinds of stuff going. Quirky QRW. Oh my gosh, this is.
That's some really cool stuff.
Right. Oh my gosh. I've learned like 6 things, so I can go home 6 times. Josh puts a note in here, says we shouldn't put more than 100 watts into a Wolf coil.
Wolf River Coil, yeah.
Jonathan, I've got a tuner. I'll locate it and make sure it's all in good shape. And if you know what you're looking at, I can show you how to use a tuner. We'll get you going on that.
No guts, no glory.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Mark, you got too bad Jonathan can't talk with us. I mean, because it's audio problems, but this week he had a real revelation with the 718. I mean,
I wasn't going to bring it up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
I know.
You know something here? Feel free to
I
fill us
do.
in. Feel free to fill us in.
He made an absolutely super contact transmit with the 718. Got it to work.
How'd he do it? What happened? What did we miss?
It must have been in the software.
So he talked to you, is what you're saying.
Well, he talked to Ken mostly when I was at Ken's the other day, and it just we've narrowed it down. It wasn't the antenna, and it wasn't the radio. So when you narrow it down, it has to be the software.
Process of elimination, my dear Watson.
It's check a box or uncheck a box. And,
cool.
And it worked.
You're just push enough random buttons, it'll work eventually.
Pretty
much.
He's not. I'm sure he just said that it'd be great if I could get him a tuner. So seems like he got his first QSO on voice too.
Nice.
So
Very good.
He figured
Very
out how to
good.
push the button. Good job, man.
All right, guys, I got to go. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, I
See
need
ya.
to get going too.
Take care, John.
Take it
Good
easy.
night, guys.
All right, night.
Hi, guys. Have a good night.
Bye.
Be safe.
Bye.
Boy, everybody got bigger all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of safe,
Yeah, okay, Ken.
when does it become safe enough to start having an occasional live Elmer night? Is there
Don't know. Getting there, getting close.
you know, we have usually that's a 15-man maximum.
Yep. There goes the
12 or
balloon
so.
launch on the screen.
But you never know because the pent up desire to get into it and do it might be greater than that. But
And we got a big enough room down there at the fire station to spread out, Mark.
It really comes down to what the mayor decides. Aren't they the ones that are telling us how many people we can have in the room?
well, that's what I'm saying. The numbers.
Yeah,
the
we
numbers,
need to look at that. Boards keeps an eye. We do that every time we do a board meeting. So
Yeah, the numbers are trending in the right direction. The vaccines are getting out there.
yep, we may have to.
It's getting close to time to get these idiots off their butts and start getting some normality again, especially at the Department of Motor Vehicles. I went online. I went to two agents, and they were both played games with me. And then I went online and went all the way through everything. Got down to the very end, and I'm old enough that I don't have a fee, but they're going to charge me 16-cent service fee and a 59-cent postage fee. But in order to collect that 65 cents, or anyway, whatever it worked out to 65 cents. I'm not doing good math here, but anyway, they're going to charge me $2 to $3 courtesy fee on my credit card. You know, so the state, in order to collect 65 cents, is going to charge me an extra $3, and then they're probably going to spend $7 to $8 in manpower processing the 65 cents. None of this makes sense at all. Anyway, I went ahead and did it, went through all the crap, put in my credit card, and my credit card was the wrong color. They don't take Amex. And I just bombed them.
Yeah, if you go in there, they'll
when I do things with the Secretary of State, like my annual LLC thing, if I do a credit card, they charge that fee, but I can do a direct withdrawal out of my checking account, and there's no fee. It's just
they're not offering that at this point on the online license renewal thing.
Yeah,
site.
Both states. So I thought maybe they would,
but you know, I mean, I don't even care about the $3, but then it kicked my card. It wouldn't take an Amex.
Yeah,
it's like they got to have the one they like.
Too much. Amex charges too many fees.
Well, everybody charges too. Anyway.
Well, they're double everybody else.
I wrote the governor a nice letter.
I'm sure you did.
You did.
And I'm sure Kevin just was appreciative of your response.
I wasn't mean.
I'm sure you're going to have to get anything done. I saw somebody on the KI5FHT has been using a Wolf River coil for all his portable operations. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Did any of you guys have any experience with the MFJ infed half waves, 8310, 300 watt capability? You guys ever use one of them?
They're pretty much all the same, aren't they?
I would think. I just didn't know.
Yeah,
Some
they
people-
are.
Yeah.
You know, I was trying to find the box where I bought mine. I mean, I love mine, and it's great for the money, $120 or so when I bought it. But
yeah, I think I'm gonna grab one of those. I think the 300 watt version, they only have it on there for like $80 now. So I think I'm gonna pick one of those up. I don't think it'll be here in time for the QSO party though. So
30. Well, if you need something, I've got wire, man.
yeah, I mean, I've got a dipole that I built myself and all that good stuff. I just don't. It's a single band that way. I was thinking about. I built a 20. I think I'm gonna build a 40. Try and get that finished up before the weekend. Unless I can go to the weather center, and then if I can go to the weather center, I'll just at least spend part of the day up there.
I think it'd be fun to go at least do a little bit from there.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to just get the station call sign working.
Yeah.
So.
This is MFJ. No, is this MF?
Yeah.
No, it's not MFJ.
That's the 30 watt one. Yeah, it is an MFJ.
Is it? Okay. Oh yeah, it is.
30 watt. I think
30
for
watt
$20 more, the MFJ website has one for 300 watts. So.
Yeah, mine's a 300 watt. But God, I remember what it was.
Vibraplex is taking over Power Electronics, and they get some real good reviews on their infed halfway.
Yeah, I was looking at Palomar Engineers antennas too, but man, theirs are a lot more pricey.
I was like, you spend some money there. The
Yeah.
only thing that's different is this is 800 watts. Only thing that's different is the how they wind the 9-to-1 balun.
Use a different wire size
And core.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to
This
run
is-
300 watts through it, so
This one's shortened.
probably never going to run over 100 watts. So through
Until
it.
Mark gets a hold of you and takes you into an amp.
Yeah. I got
That's
3 or
right.
4 mountain
He's going to enable that amplifier.
I got a QRO one I just brought in from a W5OU's station. QRO amplifier. Let's see. 2500. I think the 2500 means it's capable of 2500 watts, but
That's a lot.
they advertise it at 1500. It's 76 or 86, one of those 2 pounds. And oh my gosh, carrying one of those by yourself is not
Just a hobby, it's an exercise machine also.
Oh my God, you're right. Carrying one of those is not fun.
Mark, look up on eBay there, the Ultimax 100 infed antenna. It's on eBay.
The only thing that's there is a 9-to-1 balun and it's wire. That's all it is. Ultimax, there we go.
Ultimax, we got 100.
I've seen 9-to-1 baluns pre-wired off eBay for $39 or for those, and then you just put on whatever wire you want. So if you want to put on a non-resident wire, so we've got a chart on the SCARS antenna page that lists non-resident wires, but 130 foot's a good number. 80 something feet's another good number.
84 feet with a 17-foot counterpoise.
That's one of them. Yep. So this is what, $74, and it's good. 1.5 kilowatt, 3 mega, 3. So that's 80 to 6 meters. How long is that? What wire doesn't look very long.
I can't see anything.
Mark, Mark Klein, you keep mentioning that it's just a 9-to-1 balun and a wire, which it really is. Idea for the next club kit to put out would be go get a bunch of the Mix 43 2.4 inch ferrites and magnet wire and let people go wind it themselves.
That's a good idea. I have just got a whole roll of magnet wire. So
yeah, and then if you bulk purchase the Mix 43 T240s, they are down to like $9 a pop.
Yeah, I thought about building my own too, but for me, I'd rather have something that I can just get on the air with. I know it's going to work, and I don't have to worry about quality issues. Solder's coming. Well, still have to worry about it, but not as much as if you're building it yourself. So I figured get myself something that I can get on the air with, and then I'll worry about building something.
But one thing, the other thing keep in mind is you're referencing everything to a dipole, but if your dipole is working, that's still the best.
For sure.
Yeah. What are you using for your dipole support?
I have the
Interpole or something,
like a center fed, or like for the center.
Yeah. Or how are you holding it up? I presume you're using it portable or something.
Yeah. It'll be this weekend if I have it up. It'll be in trees. I'll just be having it hanging from a tree.
Okay.
And I built these little. This is one that's not built, but little center connectors.
Yeah, that worked.
So.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, you were talking about your kits early, or I've been about to get some surgery on my eye, so I'm excited I'll be able to see well enough to do my little Pixie kit I got from you nearly a year ago.
Hey, cool.
And I was going through the instructions and stuff, and they referenced another page where they have those. I don't know if that's where you got them from or not, but they make or offer a kit for you can do 1-to-1, 1-to-4, or 1-to-9. Apparently in China they're backwards. Balun kits. They were, what were they, Ken? Like $6 or $8?
Something like less than 10, I think.
Yeah, for QRP, for low power ones, they shouldn't be very much.
They're claiming 100 watts on them, but
what?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
Looking at it, I'm not so sure. But
on a Pixie?
No. That's not a Pixie. That's a Pixie.
Yeah. I think those do a half watt.
A good one's a half watt. Yeah. But I'm gonna stick that 45 watt linear on mine.
It looked like the same company that did the Pixie kits. They had a little antenna tuner and other versions of the Pixie, and I forget what all.
Yeah, there's a good one. They're called QRP guys. They make cool little kits, little in-fed half waves, little tuners, amps. I think they make an amp.
These guys had a frog, one of the Frogger units kitted up with a nice looking case for $15, I think, with the case, and it's quite a bit more sophisticated than the Pixie. It's much better receiver.
Only reason I haven't built my Pixie kit yet is I don't know CW, so I kind of can't use it.
Well, you have to build it, so you need an excuse to learn your CW.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
That's another enabler.
But again, Dr. Hayes just said he just posted my homework. Is the problem? I gotta get that done first.
Just study do your homework and copy it out or tap it out in CW while you're studying it, and it'll help you remember it.
That ought to be good for extra points.
Yeah.
Oh, we lose
like a contest.
Yeah, we did. All of a sudden, I became the host.
Uh-oh.
I wondered what happened, and he dropped out. He'll be back in a minute.
He went to go do one of his projects.
No, he'll be back in a minute.
Well, gentlemen, I think I've been playing with my antennas, trying to get one of them to work. So I think I'm going to get back to that before I have to call it a night. So I'm going to say good evening and 73 and see y'all next week.
Bye, Lendl.
All right.
Take care.
Take care. Be safe.
Later.
See you, Lendl.
Bye-bye.
There he is.
He's back.
He's back. I don't know. Me and Zoom, I'm running this is the bleeding edge Windows 10, and the last couple weeks they've not played well together.
Yeah, I have this weird issue. I think Zoom, I don't know if it's a software thing or what, but I tried to lower the sound settings on my PC just for Zoom, and it lowers my entire PC's sound settings. So that's cool.
They've done a lot of audio stuff in the last 6 months, and every time I get a new update, and there's another one pending.
Jared, you can change it by app.
I know. What I do, if I go into my system settings and go to like my audio mixer on my PC, yeah, it just completely breaks. Like if I lower the sound on my Zoom meetings, it lowers the entire audio output of my computer for some reason.
Do you have a virtual adapter for that, or is it's just through your regular audio card or audio interface,
Just
right?
through my regular audio in the mixer. Yeah, I don't have anything outside of my computer to do it on. I wish I did.
Well, there's a couple utilities where you can divide the app sound from one another.
It's not that big of a deal. It's probably, most of the times I would use it, I probably don't need to be using it. I would be lowering the sound of my classes, so I didn't have to listen to them quite as loudly.
Right, or you can at least hear them in the background, so you know it's going through the brain.
Yeah, but I probably should be focusing on those classes. But
yes, no, I agree.
Dr. Hayes is gone, so I can say that.
I was going to say, did he leave? Yeah, okay.
Never his class.
Oh yeah,
that's the way I made it through college multiple times, listening simultaneously.
Do you not have this yet in Windows? I know it's fairly new, but they have app volume. And
it should be in.
Yeah, down at the bottom. Yeah. So settings, system,
and then you can pick by app.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, but it does not.
I know that
work.
Jared, what you may want to do is check out the latest feature update for Windows 10 because they've defined that a lot better. Yeah. I think that's 20H2 is the cumulative.
That was from October of last year.
I built my system since then. I would think
yeah, it should be there. This is what I end up using is voice meter.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Mark.
It's called voice meter.
Yeah. It lets you split everything out and have all kinds of inputs and crazy stuff.
Mark, you're not supposed to give away all our secrets.
That's right.
And it's even free.
It's free, and there's 3 different types. There's different sizes, and that's how big a screen you can get. This is the potato one, which is the biggest one, and it takes up all that much screen. I can't put it on my small screen. I've got 3 screens.
I think they also have an app for that, Mark, as well.
It's called V-Band. That's
where you can integrate it with like Bluetooth with your device, and you can adjust your audio settings via your app on your phone.
You can stream out. You can stream out all this stuff to the.
That's cool. I'll definitely have to play with. I'll have to download it and play with it.
And then for those of you, let's see, where did it go? There's EQ. For those of you EQ hounds, has a parametric EQ by channel, by bank, by sub things, where you can go through there and say, okay, I want for my audio when I've got it set up for the flex, I take the 2600. Put a notch or a bump in there, and I run it up to 2600.
That's cool.
And then that peaks out the audio for voice range, and that lets you really hear the difference.
Yeah, there's also almost like a squelch setting, Mark, that you can set.
Noise.
Yeah.
Noise gate.
And I know the one like on my Mac Mini that I use for production. I've got Pro Tools on there, so I use that obviously for all the sound stuff. And that works great, but not a lot of people have Pro Tools, so
I definitely for all that kind of stuff, Mac is better, but I use Windows because all of our engineering stuff is. Like
I wouldn't say Mac is better. They've got
hey, whoa. All my engineering stuff is done on Mac.
Yeah, a lot of so in aerospace we use I'm actually have a homework just got assigned over it. It's called XFLIR 5 for aerospace airfoil analysis and stuff and wing analysis and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure is Windows only. So a lot of the stuff we use specifically, at least, okay, most engineering stuff can be done dual platform, but a lot of the aerospace stuff specifically is written for Windows only.
Right, but you can essentially run a VM on top.
Yeah,
of
you definitely can, but it's one of those.
That's what I do with a lot of with a lot of things.
That's spending a lot more money than you need to.
Yeah, so Jarod is saying, yeah, if you want real engineering and real work, you go for PC.
Yeah. It's
yeah, hey, the pretty stuff is the other one.
Hey Peter, are you talking shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that, Mark?
What was the software that they did that 3D rendering that exploded drawing thing?
SolidWorks. They use SolidWorks.
Oh, that was SolidWorks. Okay.
Yeah, I think for student edition we get it free. We have a certain number of allocated things for OU.
I guess it really depends what kind of engineering you're talking about.
Yeah, it definitely does because
real engineering or the other stuff.
Got a war going here.
The real engineering.
But you can do that same thing, Mark, in free software. You can get Fusion, Autodesk Fusion 360. You can do all that stuff and all that. Yeah. I just know they use SolidWorks because that's what we learn on. That's what we're taught.
I just run all of the stuff that I can't run on a Mac in a VM. And
yeah, you can definitely do
that.
So you're running a PC. Good for you. I'm glad for you. Thank you.
Back in the 90s, one of the engineers at Xerox's apartment got broke into. He was an Apple guy. His apartment broke into. They stole his toaster. They stole his clock off of his nightstand, but they left his Apple computer. We gave him a lot of fits over that, but he claimed it's just because they couldn't fence it. But anyway,
well, they were looking for useful electronic devices, and they got them.
Yeah.
I'm just going off my Unix platform that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely familiar with PowerShell and the old school 6.22 last version of DOS that was released via the command line.
Yeah.
That big black box when you hit Windows key and you hold it down and you press the letter R and it brings up the run prompt and then you type in CMD. That brings up your DOS 6.22 prompt.
It's a terminal screen.
It's not really terminal, Mark, though.
Yeah, it is terminal. That's what they call it now.
Well, I call terminal pretty much anything that would be isolated to maybe a thin client. That would be more of a terminal to me.
Well, you can do terminal. I mean, like a Linux or Unix is terminal screens. You know, the Alt A, Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt F1, Alt F2.
Yeah, I just have a setup with a VM cluster here that I use, kind of like what's his name out there that moved to Arkansas? He kind of has the same setup as I do.
Oh no, David Hickman, he hasn't moved.
Yeah. Hickman has that lab set up. I've got kind of the same thing. So I've got the ability to do everything. But for me personally, just using, like my MacBook Pro, which I'm using right now, or my Mac Mini or my iPhone or whatever, it just integrates so well together. That's what I continue to.
Yeah, that's why my wife, she uses exclusively Apple products because she doesn't rely on any software. So she just has it all integrated together. She loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need a computer. They're great.
Honestly, I was a Windows guy a long time, way before I got into sound engineering. And then once I started doing engineering in the sound world, things changed.
Makes sense.
Pro Tools was only available on the Mac platform for a while.
Yeah, I will say one good thing about most of the software stuff for engineering, most of the software engineers who write it are huge nerds and stuff and like to use Linux. And so most engineering stuff is also written for Linux, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I do a lot of DevOps stuff, so I know a lot of Linux as well.
Yeah, I need to get on the Linux train. I haven't played with it.
You might as well. I mean, it's so super easy to spin up a free VM using, the VMware Show app or whatever.
That's how we did all of our in my C programming class. We did all our stuff on a Linux.
Well, absolutely, and then that way it's sandbox, so it's secure.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally writing straight to the machine with C.
Right, and it's like I said, it's totally sandbox, so you don't have to worry about any kind of security issues.
Yep. And then now we're using little teensy Arduinos for my embedded systems class, also using C and C++. So.
Have you done any Python?
No, the engineering track, at least aerospace specifically, aerospace and mechanical, they specifically use C because most of the stuff we encounter in industry is all legacy C code.
Was written that way, yeah.
Right. A lot of aerospace stuff uses C code because that's what all of our control system stuff, and a lot of it's just legacy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. I'm sure if you get into any kind of Python stuff, you could talk to Mark or I.
Yeah. OU does offer a Python class. I may end up taking it my senior year as an elective. I'm not sure yet.
Well, I mean, if you're in the Windows world and you're already doing PowerShell, you might as well get into Python.
Yeah. It's so useful too. I know Dr. Hayes just taught himself Python over Christmas break.
Yeah, I mean, you can really automate a lot of stuff. Like I was using Python scripts to utilize Ansible to spin up and tear down servers in AWS. Like no problem. You could just literally send a piece of code and spin up a server for what you needed, and you could tear it down as needed, and it could be automated via their like CloudFormation. So, as needed, it would spin it up, and as needed or not needed, it would tear it down. So,
yeah. I do think, Mark, I'm going to have to spin up some web server stuff going on again. I don't know if you remember us talking about that a few weeks back.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to get rolling on some of that stuff again. I've got some downtime on my research right now. Time to kick that into full overdrive, I think.
Cool.
So may have lots of questions coming your way.
Cool. Yeah, lots of ways
Hey,
to do it.
Jarod, your mobile setup, another suggestion.
Yeah, I saw what you posted in chat.
Okay, it's a seat post mount. Check if your passenger seat has a bolt. If there's a cover you can open up and you can bolt it too. And no, I'll just suggest what I'm suggesting is an incremental
crack cocaine
for your mobile incremental upgrade for your mobile solution. That means while you're waiting to decide which mobile unit, go ahead and get a mobile antenna in first. Get that. Go mount the mobile antenna. Get this thing. If you know you're getting if you think you're going to get a separate unit, and if you get this, I have the holder. I have a spare holder I can pass you that clips in there so that you can clip on your HT to it.
Yeah. I have an antenna on my car now. I've been using like you say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a holder for it, but
okay. Yeah, I didn't know your current situation, but that's what I did for one of my vehicles for a while. I just had the HT in there with a 90-degree BNC, so I could just take it out, when I left. And then it's got a nice the seat post mount. The HT holder uses the belt clip, so you can just clip it in and out, and use the a mic. Yeah. But you got the antenna now working then. So you're just deciding on which mobile rig.
One question I do have, I'm sure one of you guys knows, how much loss do you get from, most mobile radios use an SO239 in the back of the radio. Do you get a lot of loss from using like an adapter to go from SO239 to BNC or anything like that? Does it need to be native, or isn't enough loss to even matter?
No, the loss is more on the coax, the RG58 than
Okay, so you get more loss just from the coax than you do from the adapter.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you go check, I think W6L, or there's one or two YouTube video. There's a guy that stacks, and you can ask Gordon Hudson if he's here. He's where they stack 10 connectors end to end and then pass it through a VNA, and there's hardly there's negligible loss across the gigahertz range. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was my question. I didn't know. I hadn't done any research into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry, I've got a BNC to N connector that I use to some LMR, and the SWRs are the same.
Okay.
Guys, I'm going to sign out. You all have a great evening.
Good night, sir.
Okay,
See you later,
well.
Sam. Be safe.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you. Yeah, the connectors won't matter. Connectors won't matter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean it's such a short run.
Yeah,
It's really not gonna affect anything. I mean, I guess at high power maybe, but I doubt it.
Technically measurable, but not worth the effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1/10 of a dB at most.
Yeah, I had
If that.
I had heard something or read something somewhere that someone said like, oh well, if you're gonna do it, you might as well just go straight to it. And I was like, how much loss can that really generate?
No, there's those guys. Yeah. Those
Yeah.
guys. Optimizers.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, there's a time and a place for that, but if I'm just using a mobile to talk in the car on my way to work 20 minutes one way, it's not really worth it for me.
Yeah.
10 or 20 watts, 30, 25, 30, 50 watts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier with that QIT I have, I mean it's 25 watts max, and it's on a quarter wave dual band mag mount on the top of my truck, and I can get to that no problem from Norman, to Shawnee. So
right.
I mean,
yeah, I think that's what I have is just a quarter wave dual band on top of my car, and I think I'm just gonna pick up something cheap just for now. Just do that.
Yeah, I just want to go out and buy a really nice antenna and then have to end up buying a mag mount that costs more than the antenna.
Yeah, I was looking at the because Yaesu doesn't make the FT8900R anymore, the quad band that they used to make.
Yeah,
you can still find them on eBay and stuff, of course. But TYT makes a KT8900R or whatever. It's essentially a Chinese copy of the FT8900R,
right?
Or 98. I get the numbers mixed up. Anyways, they make a copy of it, and I was like, by the time I go buy a quad band antenna and a mag mount that'll hold the thing on top and the radio, it's like you're spending so much money. Like, how often are you really going to use 10 meters going down the road? Like,
true. And how many 10 meter repeaters are actually out there?
2 or 3 years from now, maybe.
Yeah, when the band opens up again.
Yeah, and then I mean, because they have 10, 6, 2, and 70 centimeters, right? Is what a lot of them have. I think that's what the KT8900R, whatever it is. I think that's
if that's a quad band, but most of the tri bands are 2 meters. Quarter and 70 centimeter, or
yeah. There's a lot more 1.25s out there than there are 10 or 6. I think there are a few.
There's a bunch of
10s.
There's a bunch of 10s, but they're not until the band opens up. They're not any good.
Right.
Yeah. 29.6 has got a bunch of them out there, and we heard them 2-3 months ago. What was that when they popped in for a day or two? And man, you could 10 meters. You could usually there's one on the top of my favorite's the one that's on top of the Empire State Building is the transmitter, and the receiver is somewhere up north, northern New York. So that it's a split transmitter, but the transmitter is up on the top of the Empire State Building.
I think I've seen an antenna of that. Picture of that. I've seen a picture of that.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like looking at kind of one of these like little Leixen or something like that, because my idea is right now get something small, get something cheap that I can just throw in there for now, and then later down the road upgrade to like a 400, an FT400,
or whatever's hot then.
Are you looking for just analog or digital as well?
So I don't know. I like DMR, but for my purposes, just hopping in my car 20 minutes on the way to work, I really don't need DMR, and I don't really want to pay for it either.
I'm not really a DMR. I'm not really a DMR fan so much myself.
Yeah, it's not that I'm not necessarily a fan of it. It's just for what I want it for, I don't really see any purpose in paying for it.
Right.
Yeah, or if just for my viewpoint for DMR is that if you're just looking at Oklahoma, from Norman to Edmond, the DMR repeaters here are so good. All you need is a HT even in the vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's my only, because like the GD77 that I bought from you, Mark, it doesn't have like a VFO. So.
Yeah,
can you just type in a frequency?
If you hit the bottom, I think it's the bottom left arrow
Busy.
thing or whatever it is, you can You can put it. You can do ups and down arrows. I don't think you can type, but you can up and down arrow.
Okay.
Places.
Okay. Anyways,
if you don't do any messaging, texting, there's always Open GD77. It adds a lot of flexibility to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just looking for probably just analog for now. Later down the road, like say I got like a high-end ICOM or Yaesu mobile radio that had D-Star, System Fusion, GPS, APRS, all that stuff, then I'm sure I would eventually use it. But right now, I'm just gonna hop in my car.
If you're just looking for analog, man, you have so many options.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and there's so many really inexpensive options.
Okay, here's the next story. Take your handy talkie and put a antenna antenna to the car.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Plug in an antenna and go.
Yeah, I just have a BNC adapter on my Baofeng. Oh, well, yeah, I have been using my Baofeng just because I've been playing with the GD77 inside, but I could take the GD77 out there too. Either way.
Yep. And
man, I'm using this antenna and I'm still hitting the DMR repeater here in Norman, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're in Norman,
Eric, you got a TYT or QYT mobile, right?
Yes, sir.
And that works well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does, man. It came with the cigarette lighter plug and all, and I just plug it into my truck's cigarette lighter, and it works great.
Yeah. So Jarod can think about something like that. Apparently, I think the TYDs are supposed to be a step up from Baofeng. I don't know what the step up is, but
and I like the quad receive dual band radio part of it too.
Okay. Yeah, where it's scrolling through all the four.
Well, no, you can actually have four active frequencies on the display that are quad receive, 4 different frequencies. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about, I need to check my car. The cigarette plug in my car is atrocious, so I need to make sure
you can get through the firewall easy.
Well, maybe you should stop smoking.
Yeah. But no, I just know that thing is atrocious in those cars. I don't know if it's a car thing, if it's an age thing. I need to make sure that it can handle the current, even of like a 25.
Well,
25
you can just
watts.
put a multimeter on there and see what kind of voltage you get from.
Yeah. I just haven't done it. I need to do it.
Usually there's 6 or 7 amps at most.
Yeah. And I mean, I can tell you, I got mine plugged into the cigarette lighter in my Tacoma, which is a 2016 Tacoma. I plugged it right into the cigarette lighter. I have no AC or no DC hum or anything from the battery whatsoever, and I get a full 25 watts on the power meter.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to just go check mine.
And which makes it really nice because like my Tacoma has that extra cigarette lighter plug in the bed along with like a regular plug where I can just move the radio from there to the bed, so I could do like Parks on the Air right on the tailgate or something if I wanted to.
Right.
Which radio do you have, Eric?
It's I believe it's the QYT, the one I put in the link earlier.
The 8900D.
Yeah.
But it's a quad band receive and quad receive dual band radio.
Okay.
I've heard nice things about them. They're like $80 too, which is
cool.
Cool.
That's what I paid for mine. Was like 89 and change.
Pretty neat little radios for so cheap.
$78 now.
That's it, Mark, right there. I think.
Wait,
that's got the
quad. That's the 8900.
That's not the 8900. That's not the D.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the same mic, but it's not the same
There's the
display.
Yeah.
$2 more, you get the.
I'm gonna go check on something.
$2 more. Come on.
Hey, Peter, what were you saying? I'm sorry, I think I missed you.
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I must be dropping connection.
Gotcha. Okay. Mark, I think that's the one right there.
Yeah, that should be it. That's the quad radio.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've got. That's what I've got in my truck with just a little quarter wave mag mount, and I can hit that. I can hit that 1.9 repeater there in Shawnee or Twin Lakes or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think this is. I think this has got the Japan. If it's a Japan radio version, it's got the 300 megahertz that we don't have.
It does.
Yeah, that's what.
I think that's the fourth band, if I remember
It
right.
does. It does have the receive of some crazy bands. However, it will
but you
only
can't transmit
on,
here, so
it only transmits on 2 meters and 70 centimeters.
Yeah, you can do airband on those. You can do airband. You can do. I think they do from like something
AM?
crazy.
I think they do 220 as well.
Receive only.
Yeah, receive.
Yeah, receive only. Yeah. But I don't see air or AM, do I?
Yeah, not airband on this one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think that made it.
I think it's strictly just an FM radio.
So
that's
anyway,
what it says.
just a side observation, man. I tell you, just get this, and the better radios wait a while. But just in the last year, the prices of all the branded radios have been just going up. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a old school Kenwood TM742A that's got it's the tri-band transmit and receive, and I've got the 220 plug in that. But it'll do the 1.2 gigahertz as well.
Oh, that's the one that has three LCD, three displays on it, right?
Yes, correct. And correct.
Have you seen? Oh no, sorry. Oh, just real quick. Go Google that on eBay. I don't know if it's still there.
It's a Kenwood TM742A.
There's this. There was I haven't checked in a while, but there were for a few years. There's this guy perpetually trying to sell it for a couple of $1,000.
Oh yeah, I mean when that radio was new, it was over $600.
Yeah, but no,
And that was in the like early to mid 90s.
and you've got the 220 module for it.
Yeah, I have the 2 meter, 1 1/4, and 70 centimeter.
Yeah, I need to check and see. I haven't ever checked. I have a Kenwood TS2000. I need to check and see if it's got the 1.2 gig in it, the module.
The 742A will do the 1.2 gig, but it just does. I just don't have the module for it.
Yeah, that's mine. I know the TS2000 will do the 1.2 gig, but I didn't buy that radio. It was given to me, and I don't know if it has the module in it.
Hey, Peter, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying the TS2000 with the 1.2 gig, it's got the antenna port is a dongle out the back. So if you don't have this dongle flapping around in the back, you don't have the 1.2.
Okay, then no, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
If I recall,
I mean, I've got a duplexer for that thing for 2 meter and 70 centimeter, and then I was running a separate antenna for 220.
That's what I love
no
about the
1.2.
Go ahead, sorry, Peter.
There's no 1.2 repeater. There's no 1.2 repeater in Oklahoma City. We looked at
how much is
what?
So how much is that you're showing on eBay? I can't see.
$550. $550.
Okay. No, but for a while there was this guy listing it for a couple of thousands. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have an old school TM733A too, which is a great radio.
Hey, Eric, that 8900D, you got it with the cable, programming cable. What software did you use with it?
I programmed it manually.
Chirp, probably.
That's what I was wondering, if you could just use Chirp with it.
You can, but I literally unboxed it and plugged it into the cigarette lighter in my truck and hooked it up to my mag mount and programmed it right there. I didn't even bother with Chirp or anything because I don't know, it just seems to me by the time I get it out of the box, hooked up to my computer, download the software, get it communicating with the radio and then talking to it and then programming it. Hell, I could have it programmed manually. Especially when I was living in Seminole at the time. There's not many repeaters around there.
Yeah, I think until I can get a FT891 or something similar, I'm looking for a good deal on an IC7000. I would love to pick that up, but most people want a good chunk for them, which is respectable. I mean, they're worth every penny. But I think for now, I'm just going to be that guy. I'm going to go buy a Pelican case and put my TS2000 in one and just carry that around for Parks on the Air if I want to do that.
Oh, that's a good idea. And that Pelican case is going to be an investment for anything.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to do that, and it's heavy, but I'll make it work.
Yeah, that 740 that 742 is probably one of the best radios I've ever owned, honestly. That thing just it's been through hell and back, and it has not missed a beat.
Hey, Jarod.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got your. I'll email you. I have a rolling case that might fit the TS2000. I can pass to you.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I got to see. It might be a bit narrow, but let me. Yeah. In a while.
Yeah. The TS2000. I think it's like 11 1/4 wide or 11 3/4 wide, and with the knobs, it's dang near 15 inches long.
Inches, yeah.
Like really, really close to 15 inches long. And then it's just a hair under 4 inches deep or tall. So
yeah,
it's a pretty big radio.
The width. It's the width. It's a nice radio. Yeah,
I love it.
Just a bit.
I love it. It's just heavy, or I would not even be considering buying a different radio.
Do you okay? I hate to I keep missing it. Okay, if you ever come by a Kenwood 72, you should really try and get it. It's a HT.
Okay.
Are you talking about the wait, Peter? Are you talking about the 72A or the 74?
72A, the old one.
Yeah. I used to have that radio.
Okay, but Jarod, do you know what you can do with that with the TS2000?
No, I do not.
Oh man, go read up the section on the Sky Commander, okay?
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, do you know you can set up your TS2000 to cross band from HF to 70 centimeter?
Mm-hmm.
And if you had that Kenwood 72 TH72A, you can control the HF side from the HT.
Wow. Okay. Oh, so you can cross band. So you can. Wow. Okay.
That's cool. And you can tune, not just cross band. You can tune.
I was gonna say you have a VFO mode with that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can actually there's a mode where you enable both of them, and then basically the 72 HT becomes your portable remote for your TS2000.
Well, that's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that is correct, Peter. I totally forgot about that ability.
Yeah, the Sky Commander.
Yeah, it's a what's it? A Kenwood 72A?
TH72A.
Yeah, Peter, I remember I was doing that to 6 meters.
Oh, you were? Oh man, yeah. You see, I never had either one of them at the same time, so it's just tantalizing.
When I was in the Davis Mountains there, down in Texas, I was using a bunch of crossband stuff, and that was one I was using for crossband repeat to HF.
Oh wow.
Of course, I had a lot of elevation and not much antenna height, but I didn't really need it, considering I was literally staring at McDonald Observatory from my deck.
Doesn't look like anyone's getting rid of a 72A on eBay right now.
No. Oh, just FYI, a year and a half ago, like Green Country, there was this chap. Yeah, I should have picked it up for like 120, 140. And wow. I was still twiddling my thumbs.
Oh man, that would have been a steal.
Yeah.
Who bought it? Didn't somebody else buy it?
It was a little bang. I'm sorry?
Didn't somebody else buy it from our group?
No. And that was from it was Tony White's friend from Tulsa that was selling it. It's a little dinged up, but it still works. And yeah, but anyway, that's should have would have.
Yeah, that's one of those things. There's just a little diamond in the rough. You see one on eBay one day and snatch it up, huh?
Every Kenwood radio I've owned has been dinged up, and they work like champions.
Champions, yeah. But yeah, you got a TS2000. Hold on to it. It's a unique rig. It's not the best, but it's got so many interesting features on it.
For sure. Yeah, the same person. So it was a Silent Key. Now, it was his rig, and his wife is actually a tech, and just kind of has no interest in the hobby anymore. And she was like, "Hey, I have a TS2000,
Wow.
and I have a ICOM 756 Pro 3." And she said, "Come get them. They're yours. Do whatever you want with them."
Man,
Yeah,
that's a hell of a gift me
Right?
program right there.
So yeah, now I'm like, I have these radios and I don't even know what
That Kenwood TS has amazing receive on it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring the 756 Pro 3 to field day. Give me just a second, sorry.
Hey, Mark.
Yep.
I will send you the pictures on Ken's wonderful antenna.
Oh, good man.
I will send them to you. You'll get a whole bunch of pictures after a while, including his unique adaptation to it.
This scares me.
Hey, he made that in about 10 minutes. So while I was standing there.
Was it with paper clips?
No,
that's Jeff.
No, that's Jeff.
Oh,
But
my bad.
Ken can tell you about his unique adaptation to it. He's the expert on it. But I'll send pictures in a minute. Like we said earlier, we really need to work on getting back into the Elmer night at the fire station. Hopefully we can do that here soon.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
And when we do, and when we do that, we get into where we're getting close to doing that. We need to still look at the idea we talked about before about having a tailgate. Since we're not having Hamfest around too much.
Yep.
Have a tailgate session where everybody can bring their stuff. And that'd be kind of fun doing on a Saturday.
That would be fun. Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring that 756 Pro 3. I think it was you, Mark, asked me if I would bring it to field day, right? Was it you?
Field day, yep.
I'll bring it, set it up, and let somebody play with it.
But
Let somebody teach me how to use it.
Do you have power? That's a great way to do that. I mean, literally, it's the great way to flame test stuff and figure out how to use it and
yeah, I have a power supply I can bring.
Okay, so you got a power supply. You got you have a tuner that's. Does that have a tuner in it? I think 56.
I don't know. I'd have to check.
I
haven't played with it. I know the TS2000 has a tuner in it. Anybody know what the tuner range on it is though? I've tried to find it. I've heard some people say 3-to-1. I've heard some people say 10-to-1.
Usually it's 3-to-1, unless they don't. I mean, unless they.
Are you
It's at least 3-to-1.
Yeah. Are you talking about the TS?
Yeah.
I think it's 3-to-1.
Okay, I've done significant hunting on the interwebs and I can't find it for some reason. Maybe I'm just not looking up the right thing. I don't know. But
well, I think it's really how the antenna is built.
Oh, for sure.
There's a lot of crazy stuff, but it'll easily pull 3-to-1 down. Just
for sure. For sure. But yeah, I don't think the 756 Pro 3 has a internal. Let me look.
You would see it.
If we use the
I literally haven't even pulled it out of the box, to be honest with you. I've been
yeah, if you see it, you would see it on the face. I'm pretty sure.
The DX commander, if we set that up, will be resident anyway.
Oh, that's right. We don't need one. Yeah.
So we won't need a tuner.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, I will definitely bring that, and anyone who wants to can play with it. I can bring the TS2000 too if there's not going to be another one there. I'd be happy to bring both.
Well, I mean, that's a good. We used, I don't know, by the time we were done, 5 or 6 on that station because everybody wanted to try their stuff, and that's why I never get too excited about radios because stuff always shows up. But 756 Pro 3 would be a good one.
It's one of those
Commander be there.
It's just one of those things.
Be there, resident.
Sorry, I'm keep interrupting you. I'm awful.
Yeah, go.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm lucky to have 2 pretty crazy base station rigs that not a lot of people have anymore. So might as well spread the love and probably learn how to use the
I'm
thing.
a little jealous about that Kenwood TS.
Yeah, it's I think the LCD is trying one of the lights in the front panel, the far right light is trying to go out on me, so I may have to find somebody to
I know.
Is that a grain of wheat?
that up.
Is that a little like grain of wheat kind of bulb?
Yeah, they're a little bitty
No,
tiny.
No, I think it should be LED. Go Google up TS2000 LED replacement. There are people that change it to different colors and everything.
Yeah.
If I recall last,
You're
Yeah,
absolutely right, Peter. I know a guy that can repair that pretty inexpensively
It's
for you.
not out yet. It's just every once in a while when I turn the rig on, it's not on. So I know it's trying to go out. So it's not a huge deal. It's just one of those things that. What's that?
Is that a grain of wheat type bulb?
I think
No,
Peter
it should
said
be LED. I think.
But I mean, is it originally
does it come on when you give it gentle mechanical persuasion?
Sometimes. It's really just kind of a luck of the draw
that's a
thing.
connection.
well played.
A gold solder joint or something like that. Just press it with an iron. You tell you
Well, and the guy who had it before me, I know was a smoker. So I don't know how much that affects it, but it could get in there. But I don't know. Not that I care. I mean, it's one of those things. It's whatever. But yeah, it's eventually going to go out, and I'm going to have to find somebody to replace it. But
it says there's there are 6 total lamps, 5.5 volt lamps.
So they're all grain of wheat. They're all grain of wheat type.
Probably.
Yeah, that's
probably
right,
grain of wheat.
Okay.
Because I've got
That's
a
like
bunch of those
30-year-old.
LEDs.
Yeah, it's like I say, not a big deal. I'm just gonna eventually have to find someone to fix it for me, probably sooner rather than later. But it's not gonna.
Maybe we do it at field day.
Yeah, I'd love to open that thing up and see what it looks like on the inside. Just not brave enough to do it myself, you know.
It won't be in a clean room, but you know.
I work on other people's radios all the time, man. That's great.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll definitely bring both of them, and we'll have a good old time.
Cool. So pretty much between Ken, I got a bunch of coax, but Ken and Jarod, we've got the phone station licked.
Yep. Sounds good.
So I guess
need a digital guy.
We need a digital guy because Randy won't be there. Asked him.
I guess I'll have to set up my 991A digital.
You're on.
Okay.
You're on.
So I guess I need to join the club.
You're on.
I mean, you can run digital off of that TS2000. It's just kind of a pain.
Well, we got 3 stations. We're going to run 3 different stations. You can't do them simultaneously. That's a pain.
Right.
Because you hear all these beeping noises when you're trying to talk to people. That doesn't work.
Right.
But yeah. Yep.
Who's got a DX commander they're going to set up?
I do.
Ken.
Nice.
Yeah,
Oh man, this guy's.
We had it up last year. I only had 3 wires on it, and it was rigged for 40, 20, and 10, and the 40 gave us 15. So we had 4 bands. The 10 wasn't really too very finely tuned, but we'll be better off this year. I'll remember to bring my analyzer and we can tweak if we have to.
You had that 20-foot, 20-meter, wasn't it?
Yep.
One you set up in your yard the other day while I was watching.
The short one.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that little antenna because I don't like to leave anything in the front yard, but I'm working out of my garage right now, so I can go out there in 5 minutes and I've got a monoband vertical that has good, I've had good contacts with it. So
yeah, that was our joke last year was that Ken said, yeah, I'll bring that and set it up. And we said, okay, we'll set it up until we want to put up a better antenna. And that silly thing just took off and ran, man. That was great.
Yeah, I've never heard a bad thing about those.
We looked over, there's like, I was 200 feet away and I don't know, how long did you and Ken take to get that thing up?
It only
25
takes
minutes.
more time to put the radials out than it does to
Yeah.
show the antenna.
Yeah.
Really. But I had to break it down some to get it in the car, but I'll be a little better. It'll be a little less chaotic than it was then, and it only took 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's like I was up on top of the fire tower watching these guys. It's like, oh, I told them I'd help them, and I looked over there and they were done.
Like, never mind.
It's like, never mind.
Yeah, I'll do the digital.
Okay, I do remember that the fire tower got taller by the end of the 2 days. The first trip up, it was really short. That last trip on Sunday, it was really tall.
So what do you guys do out of the top of the fire tower?
Hang a dipole south and a dipole north, or something north.
Cool.
We typically have Larry is going to bring his tower trailer. Maybe we can talk Dr. Hayes into bringing his, and then we'll just put two
Have
dipoles.
all kinds of
there.
antennas.
Yeah, well, you put the tower, put Dr. Hayes's tower south of the fire tower, and then run a dipole between the two, and then between the fire tower and the antenna to the north, and run a
Wendell got
antenna.
that 40-foot mast. Now the German mast, I think it is, and it's pretty stout.
We use those fiberglass poles, and there's just we got more stuff than we need, but you could keep. We also got a tower up there now. We got a 40-foot tower.
I saw that the other day when I was up
What
there
have we done with that? Anything? Is anything on it?
Not yet, but that's next. I need to go talk to David, but there's coax out there, so we can just hook off that tower, and there's coax running into the building from it. So
I wish I would have known that she was selling it. That same person who gave me those two radios had 2 or 3 towers in their yard, with beams on all 3 of them. I think they had. I think it was a 40 and a 20 beam. They had some issues. I know they did, but she sold the towers and the beams, all 3, for $1,000.
Yeah,
and I was like, dang it. So I don't know who bought them, but she said there were some issues with the beams, but I don't know what the issues could have been that would have not been
$20 you can fix that.
Right.
It could be fixed, yeah.
So I was super sad to hear she sold them. I didn't even get a chance to. I mean, obviously I can't afford that, but I was like, I know enough people between the club and everything like that. We could have spread the love, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But it is what it is.
But guys, you have a great evening. Mark, I'll get those pictures to you.
Thank you. That would be cool to put in a newsletter.
Yep, it would.
See you, Mr. Clayton.
See ya. Be safe, guys.
You too.
Bye.
But yeah, I think this weekend I'm gonna go try and I'm gonna make sure I'm not gonna get murdered by OU, but I think I'm gonna go try and get in the weather center. It'll be fun.
Yeah, send a message to Kim Elmore.
I messaged Peter. I emailed him, and he said he emailed Kim, and he heard something. He said he wasn't sure, but he was going to check and get a more concrete answer. He said he didn't think it would be an issue. I just don't want to get in trouble, get anyone in trouble, or get in trouble.
He's got stroke.
Right.
He's got
so I just wait to hear back. But
cool.
Because I think it's supposed to be kind of crappy weather this weekend too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is supposed to rain, isn't it?
I was gonna take it down to I was gonna take a couple dipoles down to my parents, like I mentioned earlier. But if it's gonna be raining, I'll just go to the weather center where it's covered.
They made the crappy weather. You put up with you because of that.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be good to go test all that stuff. Is the right answer, but
yeah, I just don't even know. I haven't been up there since I knew anything about radio. Really, I had my tech, but I didn't really know anything at the time.
Isn't it great? It's like,
it's
crazy. Man, I thought the test was hard. Oh
yeah.
God, that was easy.
That's my buddies are like, well, that test sounds like it's a lot of work, and I'm like, dude, you have no idea. The test is the drop in the pond. Yeah. Then you get to the fun stuff.
And you start learning. I mean, tonight, how many things did I learn? I've done this 40 years. It's like, good God. Okay, let's see what they say here for weather. Come on. It says tomorrow 15%, tomorrow night 34%. Yikes. 10-day. Tell me 10-day. What do you got going? Friday, Saturday, and Sunday have rain. Supposed to be 6/10 on Friday, 6/10 on Saturday, 4/10 on Sunday.
That's not too much.
An inch and a half over 3 days.
I mean, yeah, but as long as it doesn't all come at one time.
You're going to be outside stringing a dipole in that?
Yeah, probably not. I will be in the weather center though, if I can.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a good one to go.
But yeah,
you know, if you go up there, you know what I'm talking about for the upper landing antenna. Where you were there when I showed you that.
Yeah. I need to go up there. I don't even know what. I literally haven't been up there in so long that it's like I don't even know where antenna connections are at. I don't even know.
Antenna connections are off to the south side of the room. As you come in, you're on the, let's say that you're on the north side of the room. South side, you come in the door, all the way on that other far side is where there's a box of antenna coming in things.
I'm assuming they're labeled.
No.
Oh, awesome.
Not so much.
Okay, cool. So it's going to be play with the wires until you actually can transmit.
Right. And I think, if I remember correctly, that dipole came in to the console downstairs for some reason.
Okay.
Or maybe it came in upstairs and they just patched it through to the came into the room and then patched it up to that observation area.
What band is the dipole cut for? Do you know? Or
I thought it was 80/40 is what I thought.
Okay.
I don't know if it worked. I know that when I showed you guys the stuff and gave you the history, and we didn't know if it was still connected. You know, it's out there, but did it rot off or something?
Well, if you've got time Saturday, you're welcome to meet me up there and do it. I just don't know if you can get in without an OUID. I bet I can get
usually I can get in once. You got to get somebody else, has to come meet me and kind of come down and just give them an ID and you can go up there and but we're doing SCARS meeting in the morning, so I won't be in the morning. But.
Right. Yeah, I'll probably stay for that for a little bit, and then we'll see how it goes after that. I don't know. It's going to depend on the weather.
You'll wake up at the crack of 9:30 is what you'll say.
Oh yeah, I'll be up long before that.
Oh my gosh, a college kid saying that? Wow.
Yeah, I don't sleep much past 8 usually, which is crazy. I know.
Good for you.
Try to. Doesn't usually happen.
Which class are you taking from Dr. Hayes this semester?
Taking 2 actually with him. I'm taking flight mechanics and I'm taking aerospace structural analysis.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're both challenging, to say the least.
Yeah. I bet there's a ton of reading.
Yeah, there is. I think for our first test between the 2 classes, we had over 1,200 pages of reading between 4 textbooks. So
I see a Justin in there. Which Justin would that be? Galaxy Note 50. Tuck. No kidding.
Hey, how are you?
What the tuck, man?
You guys doing okay?
We're doing great. Are you coming home from work?
I am.
Oh man, I'm glad you jumped in. Haven't heard your voice in a long time.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll pull up the YouTube feed at work and it dawns on me. I listened to it last week driving home and I'm like, I'll just turn on the Zoom to drive. So tried it.
Cool.
Yeah, Zoom works pretty well.
Yeah, what do you got for radio stuff? Radio project. Yeah.
Well, for Christmas, my wife got me an Open Spot 3.
Oh man.
So I've been playing with that some. And then kind of an oddball thing, I got into 900 megahertz. The guy out here in the Choctaw area had a repeater. And
is that John?
Tom, I believe is his name.
Tom Webb? No.
Yaturi.
Oh, I don't know him.
YTURRI maybe.
I know him.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, he had a 900 megahertz repeater. I think he moved here from California, and it's pretty big out there.
Yep.
So anyway, he got together with Don
Clark.
55 KWE.
Clark, yeah, Don Clark.
It's up in the air, and I got on eBay and bought a Kenwood commercial 900 megahertz radio. That was kind of fun programming. I've never really done that before. You program it a certain way, then there's this other program you run, and it converts all the all your frequencies down in the ham band.
Oh, like a translation table?
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
So anyway, it was kind of fun. I did that, and then it just goes from my house to the repeater. So I mean, there's not really a lot of folks running around talking on simplex. So
I was gonna say there's 3 of you on 900 megahertz in Oklahoma City, probably.
right. So I've got it stuck on a pipe hand, sitting on a shelf. And it goes just a few miles from the house. And just like DMR or something, you can talk to the world.
Cool.
So
Yeah, that's
about it, really.
That's pretty cool. I'd love to get into like the 2.4 gig stuff and do like Airden and stuff, but I don't have the right router. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I do have a link up, 5 gigahertz link between my house and a buddy's house. So,
Oh, good for your internet.
yeah,
Neat.
so play around with that some.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. I put a 20, what did I say? It was 26 gig link between my house and my shop. 2 gig throughput it'll do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that Ubiquity, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's smoking. $130 on an end. So
Yeah,
it's $260 and it's a 2 gigahertz link. It's crazy.
Yeah, that the point-to-point Ubiquity wireless stuff is awesome.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane what you can do, especially when you get into the super upper bands.
Yeah, this will drop back to 5 gig for on a rainy day when it can't get through the high gig stuff. It'll drop it back to 5 gig.
Nice.
But there's like 5 or 6 of us. All of our stuff's Ubiquity, and it's solid.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask Justin next. Hi, Justin. Eric here.
Hi.
Yeah, I was just curious. I set up that point to point stuff on a daily basis, and everything I use is Unify.
Good stuff.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I have a noob question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So obviously ham is a secondary user on 60 meters. What is the primary use for 60 meters then?
Is it military? We had this discussion the other day.
Did you say 60?
60,
Yeah.
60.
Yeah, I'm
10
pretty sure
megahertz.
the majority of that band is military.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is because that's where we do the Mars stuff at.
Yeah.
Correct.
Gotcha. That's cool. I was just curious because everything you read for your test and all that stuff, it just says you're a secondary user. I was just curious what the
Yeah. I think they don't test on it in case it changes. Basically we have that, and, things may change, but I thought it was military, and that's why it's isn't it channelized?
Yes.
And that's why it's channelized so that we keep everybody in their little sections.
Right, but it's very volatile because I've seen the FCC change it rapidly.
Yeah. Centered at 50, no, it's 5 megahertz. Sorry, 5332,
Yeah.
5348.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the military. That's where all the state emergency frequencies are in that a little lower than that, but they're in the 5 megahertz range.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's the state, like the state network, when they're talking places, they go in that lower 5 range. I don't know if that's public frequency, but let's say lower 5.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious because, it just talks about, here's what the band plan is and you're a secondary user. I just was curious what the primary use of that band was.
Yeah. And the right answer is it doesn't matter.
Go ahead,
The
Mark.
right answer is it doesn't matter. It could be commercial, it could be military, and it could be both.
Yeah.
Is the right, but I think it's military that's in that same bunch.
I assumed, but
there's a section of it. It's pretty small, but there is a section of it that it's actually shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was just sitting here looking at the band plan. What on 30? So we can only do Ridian data and CW on 30. It says avoid interference to fixed services outside the U.S. What uses 30 outside the U.S.?
I'm sure everything.
I'm just curious why it's so limited.
My guess is it's commercial somewhere else.
Okay.
That's what you'll run into is that somewhere, let's say Europe, they're using it for dump trucks and we're using it for amateur radio.
Gotcha.
So if we can't talk to somebody in Europe that's legally using it for a dump truck, we can't talk to a non-amateur is what they're trying to say. We had I worked at Marriott's Great America in Chicago, which is now Six Flags. And we had a parade like our friends at Disney World did. And we had 5 Marty transmitters that sent signals down to the floats. And they were all 50 kilohertz wide, really wide signals. And we got interference one day and we chased around all over the county. And we found some guy literally with a dump truck that was on the same shared frequency. And we looked at his license, we looked at our license, and he had a legal right to be there.
Gotcha.
And we had a big problem. So I came back to my boss and I said, we need to pay this guy to move his radio somewhere else.
Right.
Because he's legal and we're legal. And we do not want him coming on top of Bugs Bunny with some expletive about his dumping his load.
Right.
And we did. Moved a bunch of dump truck radios.
Oh, come on. We're on Zoom. You can use that expletive.
Jarod, you're mentioning 30 meter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Ken, you listening? Now I'm pulling him in on since you medical stuff, don't they work around 10 megahertz and something else?
I was involved in the X-ray side.
Oh, okay, yeah. Do you do the RF heating, the tissue heating, and stuff like that?
Okay.
Yeah, I had.
I'll go Google that now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was just curiosity.
Yeah, but Ken, you only do the X-ray stuff.
Yeah, X-ray and MRI and linear accelerators and such. But the biomed dealt with telemetry and all the other RF-based subsystems that we use.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I thought you might. No, you're in a different.
My Linac is in a 3 gigahertz range.
No need to go. You're in the elite portion of the band.
Yeah, we tried to keep it inside though. We didn't try to let it out.
Yeah, you paid good money to keep it inside.
Yeah, we did. That was the main deal. When it got out, it was usually a bad thing. But
here's you open a can of worms, Jarod. The 60 meter band is shared with government primarily and aeronautical mobile stations, FCC Part 80, which is maritime, Part 87, which is aviation, and Part 90, private land mobile. Plus, many specific government allocations are confidential. So other than that,
so it's all.
What could possibly go wrong if you're out there with an old radio?
It's everybody.
You
Gotcha.
You almost piss off the Pope. I mean,
Yeah, that's the only thing that's not in here is Pope. I don't see Pope.
That's just such a-
That's in our region.
I'm just curious why that. I don't know. I just these things. It's like why that band. That's a big antenna for those kinds of things to just have to transport
tiny
around.
little bit of use you can get from it. Yeah.
Well, my guess is that since like the state EOC runs theirs in that same vicinity, that giving an amateur use to that band would help the government folks get some of their equipment up and running. So if we can build an antenna that's used for our stuff and then use it for the military or for the emergency management folks, that's a side benefit.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why they did it here. Now it looks like it was tacked on at a World Radio Communication Conference, and it wasn't on the agenda. So they basically just kind of said, "Here you go. We'll give them some frequencies and let them go." So don't know why. I'm with you. I don't know why they thought this was a good thing, but
I have a question.
Go.
So what is the 4-tower system that's set up there off Indian Hills Road that's no longer in use?
That's
Those are in use.
Though it's an AM sports station 800. I forgot what it is.
640, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's that AM.
Yeah, it's still in use. There's no
It's still in
studio
use,
there.
except the building is just dilapidated and it still says no entry.
Yeah, but the transmitter is still in use.
Okay. I was
The
curious. I was
studios haven't
curious
been
as
used
to
in
what that
20
was.
years.
I thought it was an AM transmitter station, but I wasn't for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's a AM transmitter. Is that KRAF? No. Peter Laws is the man on that one. He knows all that crap, and I have no idea. It's just by my office, or is that from the KOT? I don't remember who does that one, but yeah, it's
when
still
you cut
running.
off when you cut off like Pennsylvania there on the Indian Hills and you're heading towards 44 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it's all barbed wired off and it says
Yeah.
military installation or whatever.
The military's on the north side of the road, right?
I'm not sure. I was just curious what that was. It just looked like a whole bunch of to me it looked like a bunch of towers that like dipoles were strung off of.
Peter,
Yeah,
is that
640? It's a KWPN 640.
What's the call sign?
KWPN, Kilo Whiskey Papa November.
Never heard of it. Good God, that's a new call sign.
so? Hey, Peter, is that thing you just posted? So are those 60-meter beams? Is that what that is?
No,
or?
okay. You're talking about sharing band. Go look up more on this. And there's another. It's interesting. What basically what's happening is that we might see some of this intrusion. Is that there are financial institutions that are beginning to submit frequency use requests to FCC, and it's actually some of it is on the very top portion of 20-meter band, and people have been reporting it bleeding down to 20 meters. They are trying to make they're trying to make connections between US and Europe for high frequency trading, not HFT, not RFHF, but the financial HFT.
Right.
Gotcha.
That's what they're really trying to do with this Starlink. That's the big goal there.
Starlink will still have more latency than this HFT.
Right. If it gets through.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but if you go look around on that, I just post. It's an interesting thing about intrusion into the bands, and there's some discussion about people have been following the FCC, giving them space, and they're not too happy because they've been just assigning them allocations all over the place to experiment on.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. I was just curious what it was.
Yeah, I've got a friend that does that kind of stuff, and I can't remember what the numbers were, but he will buy servers and he will replace them every 6 months to get the newer, faster, greatest, greatest machines. Because if he can beat a a millisecond or two on network times, he can pay for the machines in like 30 seconds.
Well, why doesn't he just
high-frequency.
upgrade to 10G then?
Well, it's the servers, it's the machines.
Yeah. So Jarod, basically when you do stock trading, they want to be able to get it in quicker than the other guy.
Right, of course.
And if you just use the regular internet, if you use undersea cables, it's got to go through exchanges and everything else. And so they're experimenting with this direct connection. In fact, I saw this article, pretty interesting, that they were looking for old analog engineers because, Mark, because if they were to use SDR radios for HF and DSP like they're doing nowadays, using IQ processing and DSP to do the decoding, it introduces a lot of latency. So they were actually looking for all analog radio designers to have a full analog front end so that there's zero latency.
That's cool. I mean, that's it's unfortunate, but yeah.
Because everyone, all this day, everything is let's pass it through a computer and let do the decoding and everything. And they realize that introduces quite a tens of milliseconds of delay.
Sometimes the computer's just not faster than pure physics.
Well, yeah. So they wanted.
Well, physics still wins.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you throw it through software, there's just inherent.
Exactly. So I saw this. There was this blip of an article, quite interesting, that they wanted people competent in all analog designs to do all the designs in the front end until the very back, until the very last part where they had to digitize it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I said I got a friend that does that stuff, and it's crazy the stuff they end up doing. There's your transmitter building, Eric, right?
I believe that's the one. It's off Indian Hills Road.
Yep. Just off of I-35.
Yeah, exactly. As you're going towards 44 there, where like there's the golf course there, the other end, and then like RV General Store is right there. And I think that's
that's all still running.
Yeah, the 4 towers. Yes,
the transmitter's still running. The studio's left there.
It sure doesn't. It sure doesn't look like it is.
It is. All you got to have is that power cable going into the thing.
If you drive by there right now, all the if you drive by there right now, all the weeds are growing up around the building, and it doesn't look like anybody's walked in there in days.
Oh no, the building has not been used in 30 years. The transmitter hut in the back is the only thing.
Is that the one that's chain linked off by military signs?
I don't know if it says military, but there's a sign here.
No, it's like your classic do not enter military base, facility sign. Like if you were to walk up to like the edge of Tinker, the fence, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's not military, but there's a warning. There's a warning sign. No trespassing.
Okay.
Because it's still active. They would, if it's not, they'd bulldoze those towers and sell those for housing in no time.
Yeah.
And you said it's a what kind of transmitting station?
AM transmitter, just AM broadcast band.
I got you.
What do you say? WTPN?
KWPN.
KWPN.
Yeah, I was just curious about that because I saw it, and when I just drove by and I was at a click, and I just kind of glanced over, and it looked like a military warning installation sign. And I noticed there was like a bunch of growth in front of the doors to the building and around the towers and whatnot.
I moved here in 82, and I think it shut down like in 84.
Okay. All right. I was just curious about it because it looked like
640. 640. That's 640 transmitter. Yeah.
Okay, because it looked like to me it was inactive or unused.
Nope.
However,
The
like-
studios are at Northwest 64th in Northwest Oklahoma City.
Okay.
So is there any ham stuff really that goes on in like the 630 to 2200 meter stuff? Like, does anybody use that stuff?
Ken, I can listen to it. I can decode the whisper stuff on there, and they're doing whisper and CW on 630 all the time. And Ken Robertson, one of our hams out of Shawnee, has a whole, he's got a cool setup.
Must be a big antenna.
60-foot vertical, 4-inch irrigation pipe.
Okay. Pretty legit.
Yeah, go to his website. He's got lots of info on it.
Yeah, let's see, where is it? Ken Robertson. He was an engineer over at Seagate.
Oh,
Seagate
okay.
was here.
My father-in-law worked at Seagate.
Oh, was he?
Not an engineer, but
what did he do?
he is. I honestly don't know his actual job description. He kind of is just a do-it-all kind of guy. Right now, well, actually, now he's working on. He does data transfer for Fortune 500-ish companies. So essentially, his job is to take data from like tapes that all these huge broadcast networks, they still film things on physical tapes, and to turn it into digital.
Neat.
Running like 30 gig downlink and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Guys, I put a link to that KWPN info, and it's a 4 square. Well, it's a phase 4. I guess they phase the 4 towers because it's got 2 different patterns for day and night.
Yeah.
And I'm like less than 6 miles south of it, so it's 5 miles or so. So it swarms all my SDRs.
Okay.
It swarms everything in the front end.
Yeah, when I first time I rolled by that thing, I thought, man, this looks like it's still active. Otherwise, it would be demolished. And then I looked through the gate, and it looks like there's just crickets. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that whole the whole front building is abandoned. I think I when I drove by the other day, I could I think it's even like there's somewhat either the door or something is like half creaked open and still chained in or whatever.
Wow. Yeah, that's why I was curious about it. I thought it was a military installation of some sort, but I thought there's no way it could be, crazy.
ESPN radio. ESPN radio.
So, Mark, I'm looking at that website you're on right now. So the Elcraft K3 will do 630.
Yep. My Flex does 630. My $500 Flex does. That TS. Wonder if your TS does.
I don't think so.
Oh, his 756 Pro mic. Go look at.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, there's that list of. They have a list of all the rigs that will listen down there without the low pass cutoff.
So it will listen from 30 kilohertz to 60 megahertz.
Yeah, you're good.
Won't transmit down there, but obviously.
Some of them can.
Yeah, the 756 Pro 3, the lowest it'll go is 1.8 meg.
No, there's a hold on.
Mod.
Yeah, there's someone doesn't Ken has the information there. Hold on.
I don't know. He's got so much crap that it's just amazing. We have got to get him back on here.
He hasn't been on for a while.
I'll tell him that we'll have to punch his card. Ken for a while held the 630 record. This is the QSL card for it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
630 meters antenna. He held the record for about 2 weeks from here to Queensland, Australia. Longest 4.475 megahertz, so 475 kilohertz.
That's craziness.
JT9. He's also part of the test stuff. So when they get new software for the FTX stuff, like the FT4, he had it long time before anybody else did.
Hey, Peter, how'd the observatory go at the elementary the other night?
Oh, very good. Very good. We had second day was we had hold on. It's the first class out there, so it's intro stuff.
Nice.
Skies were, yeah.
Oh man, that 2200 meter vertical with that loading coil, that's just awesome.
Yeah. There's a video on our Scars channel that a guy out of Dallas, John, whatever his name is, N3 something, did a video on 630. And at the end of that, they've got some Hall of Shame stuff. Early on, they were allowed experimental licenses to test that, and Ken was one of those, and John was one of those, and a couple other guys, and they had like 1,000 times power that they have now, and they show all the stuff they burned up. Burned up telephone poles,
just destroying them. Yeah,
with that low.
Well, yeah, I mean,
frequency.
I guess you kind of have to, like, you could literally just like, yeah, I mean, telephone poles are like in play now, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's crazy.
All kind of crazy stuff.
Just the loading coil on that 2200, that's just insane.
And what he uses is a 4-inch piece of irrigation pipe, like the guys use for the pivot things.
Yeah,
and it's 60 foot tall.
That's just 500 feet of 14 gauge wire.
Yeah,
wrapped around a 5 gallon bucket.
Home Depot bucket. Yeah.
I guess if it works, it works, right?
Well, if you did the math, he does all that gazintas, and
it's just crazy to me that there are people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious to the number of, like, what's the number of people that are regularly on 630 meters or 2200 meters?
I pick up probably a dozen, or when I go down there, I pick up a dozen or so, over a couple nights.
Is that all around the world or mostly just here in the US?
I don't have enough. I'm just using that 80 meter dipole.
Right.
So I don't have much, but I know that they have, what's N3? What the hell is his name? John Langridge is his name. John Langridge. They do he does a newsletter, and every week he shows who heard what and all that kind of nonsense. John Langridge.
So is the 2200 and 630 stuff, is that fairly new? You said they had.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, you have to, before you transmit there, you have to put your address in, and you have to get approved, because it's a shared use with SCADA for transmitter stuff. It's really up only in Alaska and North part, but you got to send in an email to some place and get.
Make sure you're not going to overstep.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, didn't that recently get changed though?
I haven't seen that. I mean, it could have been.
I thought I saw an update from the FCC about that.
Could be. What was the change?
I think the change was where you don't have to register anymore.
Could be. They basically, you send in an email and they say, if you don't hear back from them in 14 days or whatever it is, you're good to go. And that could be.
I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw something about that.
Oh, Peter, that's really cool. So you literally just remove a few diodes, and you can get the lower band, the even lower bands.
Yep.
Yeah. And but for the 756, it's low power only. The next link I'm giving you is all the rigs that can do a 630 meter transmit, and they tell you what the power is. That's the second link.
Yeah, if you look FTA or WSJTX, it'll actually go down there to 472.
And you can just use an 8 meter dipole and see it a little bit.
And listen, Yep, and you can listen.
That's
There's my radio right there, and I'm picking up signals down there. Now.
Yeah, I see 3 pretty good signals there, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, the second link I sent, with the what do you call it? With the number of rigs, our what do you call it? I think that is the same. Yeah, our mini whip antenna shows up there again as their recommended receiving antenna.
Oh, cool. We need to get that going, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 756 Pro 3 cannot do 630. Only the Pro 2.
Oh, yeah, Pro 2. Yeah.
Be interesting though. That's interesting that the ICOM 703 can do it though. Such a tiny little rig. The IC 7100 says up to 50 watts.
Yeah, looks like it.
Crazy.
Yeah, so a lot of the wattage, the issue is because of the transmitter output. It's got all the filters for the ham bands.
That's the big thing, is if there's a filter in there to knock it out.
Yeah, if I was going to do this, I would almost have to buy, like, to justify it for myself, I would almost have to buy a radio just to do these modifications in case I screwed it up.
Dude, you need to buy like way more property than you have now.
Oh, for sure. No. Of course. I mean, it's just something that, like, down the road would be cool to do, but
yeah,
I don't see my watch.
Maybe Mark, maybe what I was reading was about 2,200 meters.
Oh, yeah, that's even low. That's the crazier one. Oh,
Yeah.
Where they changed the rules on it.
Yeah, maybe that's the email I was reading.
Could be. That just breaks my head when you're doing that stuff. Looks like Antarctica is listening on 630. Because for them, see, it'd be a good, long range.
2,200 meter range is what, 1.5 kilohertz or somewhere in there? 1.4.
Let's see.
Well, and like, doesn't like we were talking not too long ago, like
136 kilohertz.
Yeah, okay.
Like submarines and stuff, they go even lower into like the 50 kilohertz range, right?
Well, depends. They had some get up frequencies that are those, but they were in the 400. They were in the 630 meter band. These frequencies we're using now is what they used to use for submarine frequencies.
What kind of antenna? Did they just like throw it out behind the sub or what?
Yes, and they one of the guys we just got licensed is flying the Doomsday plane in Oklahoma City,
and they
Navy plane.
Throw that out behind the plane. Yeah,
2,000 foot antenna hanging out behind the
Yeah, you're right, Jared, about them stringing it out behind the vessel underwater.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened, because I remember my pops telling me about that when he was an officer in the Navy and was a commander on a submarine, an officer on a submarine, and he told me about that.
I guess when you're that far underwater and everything around you is conductive, you kind of got to use something that'll get you out there, huh?
Well, also when you're that deep, too.
Yeah. Just a lot between you and even the surface of the water, let alone getting to shore. Yeah.
They had a really low, very low frequency one up in northern Canada, northern Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think you showed me pictures of that where they had a literal generator, like a giant, like the size of a room.
Yeah, and they went through the granite and they actually shook the granite. Basically, I think that was 6 kilohertz or something like that.
Just because the frequency's so low.
Yeah, and that would shake the granite so that basically it was a command. They had like a small number of them that they would shake the granite, which the subs could pick up, and they were surface. Basically, it was a surface command. And then once they got up, they would use some higher speed radios to get to them.
It's just crazy to me.
Because I mean, a lot of those things are 3-month tours where they're sitting there underground and they just They have no contact with anybody.
Shaking rocks.
Just driving around the sea.
Oh,
Nobody knows
yeah.
where they are.
So is it just for like secretive purposes that they use this kind of stuff, or is it just like
Well, it's the only way you can get to them. How can you get to them?
Right. Anything higher frequency just doesn't get there.
Yep, doesn't make it.
That's crazy.
When you think you have all the problems in the world.
Hey, Jarod, speaking of doomsday plane and everything else, I put a link in the chat. Put those frequencies in your TS2000 memory bank, and once in a while scroll through them.
Okay.
It's pretty neat. That page that explain all of it, but they are quite active. You'll hear a lot of a lot of coded Air Force messages. Since we're on the topic of
that's insane.
But yeah, I usually have a set of all those. I just put it in the memory bands there, and then if I'm tuning around, nothing to do, I'll just switch over memory mode, flip around, and quite often you can hear them doing all that. It's in the clear, but it's just to it's just to ping back and forth that I'm here and you're there. Dates back to the 50s as Strategic Air Command stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, it's in like roughly the 10 megahertz range. Well, even lower. Okay, so this is like part of 60 meters.
Yeah, 8992 seems to be quite active. Well, it's been a while since I listened in, but
okay.
Yeah, but you just look for HFCGS or EAM, the emergency action messaging.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's all the EAM stuff, right?
Yeah, the EAM.
Tune up the.
Holy crap! It's already 10. I should probably hop off of here.
Oh my gosh!
I need to go get started on Dr. Hayes' homework.
What is it? Did you go look it up?
What class is that?
I think he released homework for both classes. I need to check. Hold on, I'll let you know. I know you guys are just so interested, but
when is it due?
So I'm looking. Let's see here. So our flight mechanics homework is due next Wednesday. And then courses, structures, assignments. Beam bending exam homework, that's due Friday. And let me just go to my email. That'll make this easier. Let's see what he actually assigned here. Recording. Yeah, he just gave us one homework. Okay, it's due next Wednesday. I got time. But I think he's going to want us to use XFLIR 5 to do static stability analysis on some wings or something, which sounds scary.
I may go build a paper airplane. Something I can handle.
And he's probably going to make us import the airfoils into XFLIR, and which means I'm going to have to teach myself how to use the software over the next week.
Often the challenge, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Once I can navigate the software, the homework's easy.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like life.
Much.
Well, guys, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Y'all take care.
Okay,
right,
you
sir.
Night.
See you, Ken. See you, Jared.
See ya.
Well, there's Justin. Look, we can even see him now.
Yeah.
I got home. I didn't have Zoom installed on my PC, so it took me a hot minute. Were y'all talking about number stations?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big into that for a while. Hey, Justin, what APRS do you run? I see you pop up once in a while.
Yeah, it's on my Yaesu FTM 400.
Okay. Do you ever get any messages I sent to you that I spam to you?
I've never noticed if I do. Honestly, I don't watch it that close.
Okay.
I have it running in like Bank B and Bank A, scans frequencies. So, but yeah, honestly, I don't really ever check it. I just
okay.
But I put that number station in the chat, Justin, if you will see it.
Okay. Yeah. Before we moved over here, I kind of enjoyed monitoring those, and there was one in the mornings, pretty routine. I think it was out of Cuba. It was in Spanish.
Oh, the 5 number. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, it's just kind of neat to hear, but the military does that. I forget what it's called. I think they say Skywave or
Sky King.
Yeah. They repeat it several times, and then
that's the I sent in the link. That's the EAM one. That's really doomsday-ish. Do not answer.
Right. Yeah. I used to hear those, not with any regularity, but pretty. I mean, not that I can make a schedule of it, but I would hear it pretty routinely, I should say. Regularly, irregular, maybe.
I tell you what, what's interesting is that way back when in Cold War, back when I was in Singapore growing up, that's way back in Asia. I could hear it back all the way there.
Wow.
Yeah. And much more active back in the, when.
Oh, yeah.
80,
90, I don't doubt that at all.
Really interesting.
When I was in Guam, Peter, I heard a lot of that.
Oh, I'm sure.
They weren't playing around back then.
And also the Philippines. Back in Subic Bay times, there was a lot of that going on then.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the last, and I caught it once, recorded it, and then someone else in that region, Southeast Asia region, they caught it. Up to they stopped maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Everyone's pointing it to the US military, but they had a bunch of automated voice messages that were being sent on HF. And if you go look them up, it was a word list from MIT. Yeah.
That's neat.
And
under contract with the Department of Defense.
I got to tell you, it's I'm trying to remember, but no, because it was very distinctive. It would say something along the lines of something about don't throw the dishwater, or he washed my pants. Or I got to go look at it, but
it was essentially do not operate on this frequency.
No, well, okay. Basically, what happens is if you go Google up the sentences that they spoke, it traces back to it's called TMIT sentence list. It's basically apparently a list of phrases and words to train computer speech and recognition.
Yeah, that was the beginning of AI.
Yeah, TMIT.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I remember those.
And then the more interesting one is they would say the same sentence in like 4 or 5 different American accents, one East Coast, one West Coast, and one Southern.
And there would also be a British one in there too.
Yeah. So it's like really weird stuff. Well, but this one was still being heard up to maybe about 4 years ago in the region.
So it was just a beacon, right, that we were hearing? Or?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure it was just a beacon because it seemed like it was always on the same 100 hours there. Because I remember being in Alice Springs in Australia and hearing kind of the same stuff, and then going to Subic Bay in the Philippines, and then going to Guam, and that side of the world, hearing pretty much the same beacons, I would think, and I'm pretty sure they were the same timestamps every time.
I think Ken Brown was in Alice Springs.
Gorgeous place.
I think. Well, there's Carl. We can see him. Oh, he just ran away. Scared him. Oh, he's back.